Hi everybody, welcome to the world of Atania. This is Emberfell Campaign 1, and we're excited that you guys are watching us. I gotta tell you, we're on session 8 tonight, and I'm really thankful that you guys are out there watching this thing. So keep it up, it's awesome, and are you guys ready to play?
Woo! Oh, yeah. Yes!
Alright.
Small crew tonight. Small crew.
We have a limited crew tonight. We've got a good game for you, I think. I will see. I've got some stuff up my sleeve, so let's see where this goes. Let's do a little recap.
Who's doing the recap? Olivia usually does the recap.
I love the way we begin this with Eric pouring his Arnie Polymer
every time
with serious audio. Thank you for that.
I do my part.
Yes.
I do my best.
I can do a recap if you want.
You want to do the recap?
Sure.
Hit it.
We began last session where we left off in the sewers.
Swimming in shit.
Swimming in shit. We had just murdered the giant slug creatures, and we continued going straight, following the current. Now, we ended up finding our way into a, how would you describe it, a poop sifting room?
It was a processing plant, a water treatment plant.
Yeah, treatment plant.
Water
settling
treatment
ponds,
plant.
essentially.
Settling filtration, kind of like a plaster drain siphon off the top, but also a mechanized slide shovel.
The poop spaghetti maker.
Sediments
Yeah.
into the blade, the turd cutter, the giant turd
Poop
cutter.
patties.
Yeah.
And then that went into the baking room
Yes.
to make all the dough.
Where it was composted.
Yeah.
Yes. So we made our way there. Also, Remy made friends with a little rat that was floating on a raft.
Oh, yeah, we
And
saved the rat.
We saved the rat, and its
Thrud
name is
saved
Mule.
the rat.
Thrud saved
And
the rat.
Emmy kind of did her thing. Remy did her thing and
Yeah. You know, animals. You know,
started winking at things, and then the rat ran off.
They
and
just
hung
can't
out
help
with
but
her.
fall in love. Its name is Mule, though, in case anyone's wondering.
Well, also, when Remy spoke with animals and talked to the rat told Remy that her name was Verbena.
Verbena, that's right.
Just so
Thrud still calls it mule.
And then the party split up a bit, investigating this treatment plant. I went investigating some suspicious levers in one of the back rooms, and I pulled a few of them, but I restrained myself from pulling all of them. And it seems I didn't pull the one that was the most suspicious. So we never found out what that one did. The other ones released some sort of liquid. Didn't find out what that did. We found out there were some orcs working here. They seemed to not really mind our presence. And we attempted to make our way out of the treatment plant.
There was that long collapsible drawbridge.
We found the lever that opened the bridge.
Lever opened up a bridge so we can walk across the
like a
poop
catwalk.
pools.
Catwalk
so we
across
didn't have
the
to
poop pools.
make saves or just, it's a very safe
Some
passage.
of us were fascinated with the poop treasures that were floating below.
Yes.
There were poop treasures.
Tryfon got 2 poop treasures.
I mean, how do you walk right past the poop treasure without taking a second look at it, right?
I do it
You
every
dangle
time.
poop treasures in front of our nose, we're going to touch it.
I'll keep that in mind.
And Thrud got particularly interested in what was happening next door, where they were cutting up the top layer of the poop and making poop patties.
Mechanisms are of interest.
And Thrud got spotted by one of the workers,
Stealth is not my best point.
and they hit the lever so that the bridge started retracting while Thrud was still on it. The rest of the party was off. Thrud did their best Tom Cruise run and jump to try and make it, but they ended up
Short, stout legs.
landing in just a few inches short in poop. But we survived. We continued through the tunnels, and we came to a opening, a clearing that had a bunch.
giant room,
It was flanked on both sides by columns. It was a very tall room. There was a little bit of water throughout the entire room on the floor. And we investigated this room, and we found a ginormous door on the right side. And as we moved to investigate this door, we were snuck up on by a bunch of sexy, suspicious, cloaked assassin ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we made it was very intimidating. It was a stressful situation. They possibly have some info on where Brec is, but to get said info, we must do a job for them. This job involves murder, and we don't know if we're comfortable committing said murder. Are we hitmen now? We don't really know, but we want this information. And these people call themselves, the group of assassin ladies call themselves the Void, and they move stealthily all throughout the city using the sewer. They're experts at navigating through the sewer passageways, and they seem very powerful. And then after that, if I covered everything with them, right?
Pretty much.
After that, we found our way out of the sewers and wound up a couple miles outside of the city.
Yeah, so a couple of details that I just want to kind of throw in there, just so we have them. One, there was a letter that was given to Bran by one of the Void members. That letter was read or...
Did the rest of the party know that? I don't know if Did I bring that to everyone's attention?
Was it the key that gave that to you?
I don't think you read that to us.
Someone gave it to me.
Because I know you were trailing behind.
Gave it to me.
Yeah, so far you haven't told the rest of the party that the letter existed.
Oh, Shades handed it to you.
But
Yeah,
the
Shades, I think.
All I'm saying is, if the Void were a band, I'd go see them.
I would also
they
consider
were
them.
they were pretty amazing.
I mean, with names like Nightmare, Brute,
Dirty
Katie,
Katie.
Yeah.
Dirty
Shades,
Katie,
The
Shades.
Key,
Yeah.
Toothless Val,
They sound like a band.
Prowling Lexi.
Prowling
Yeah.
Lexi's my favorite.
You think Prowling Lexi's playing bass?
I think so.
Well, I'm kind of hoping that with a name like that, you will go back to see them, so that they live on. in
They're
this
grunge
campaign.
as fuck.
Yeah. Tryfon was
They're
impressed.
grunge as fuck. I like that.
Yeah, they are.
So one of the things that happened after you ran into the Void and you met them, and they gave you the letter from Brec, and you took their instructions, exited the tunnel system. You came up through a very tight spiral staircase that went up 80 or so feet. It was quite a distance to a trapdoor in the earth. And when you threw the trapdoor open, you were literally standing in a small clearing in the woods, maybe 50 yards away from the north-south trade road outside of North Veritas.
It was up on like a hillside, right?
Up on a hillside, yes. So you can imagine that if you were below that trapdoor, say down on the road, you wouldn't be able to see the existence of that trapdoor. It would just look like a grassy hill to you until you made the effort to travel up there. So when you came out, we ended the session. Now, a couple of things to point out to all of you, just so we kind of know where to begin. Number one, it is later in the afternoon. You were down in the sewer system for quite some time. You had gone down there in the morning. And now you're up at around the 4 o'clock mark in the afternoon after spending the time that you spent down there. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, from where you're standing, you can see the north-south trade road visibly from where you are. And in a field opposite that, a farmer's field, a massive, open tract of land, there is the strangest looking architectural structure you've seen in this area to date. It is what appears to be a house, but it is 5 or 6 stories tall. It is larger on the top than it is on the bottom. It is completely sitting in a very crooked manner, almost as if it has begun to sort of collapse on some level. And it sits in the strangest sort of location. This is not the type of place you would typically see a structure like this. It's in the middle of an open field. With that, it's late. Now, if you want, you can roll history checks to see which of you might know what that structure is, if at all.
I would like to roll a history check.
I don't.
-1 over here, not doing it.
I will do.
Go for
Aren't
it.
you from this area?
Oh my goodness. That is an 11.
An 11. None of you are really sure what this is, and the fact that you are not from North Veritas doesn't surprise me. But as you stand looking at it,
Let's check it out.
you do notice that you see two people walking towards it off the north-south trade road. So it doesn't seem to be the type of place that, I mean, if it is a private residence, then these two people happen to be the owners. But to you, those two people look as if they might be travelers.
Are they goblins or bugbears?
Not that you can see from here.
Interesting.
They seem like farmhands.
Do they seem would they be short like a goblin? Like, do I get like a height at least from where I am?
They look like they're human height. They look like they're a medium-sized humanoid creature, but you're 200 yards away, so it's pretty good distance.
Maybe they know something about what's going on with the trade routes and the interceptions and all that.
I mean, we do smell quite like shit.
Oh, man.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
So perhaps maybe not the best way to put a good foot forward.
Well, you just took a bath in the most clean of the ponds.
Yes.
Ish.
Yeah. Can I make a smell check on us?
A smell check.
You want to make a smell check?
Yeah.
On whom?
The party.
On the party, the collective
How
smell
foul
check.
are we?
You don't need to roll any kind of dice for this one. You guys are foul. Like, pretty foul. Now, granted, the last couple of miles in the tunnels were in cleaner water than you had been in to begin with, but you haven't had a proper bath. And frankly, the insides of your armor, and your clothes for that matter, feel like they've got little bits and pieces of, like, meaty crust and mud, and
But the big chunks are out.
the big chunks are mostly out.
Mostly out.
Say
I would
meaty
say
crusts.
I would say the most noticeable part for all of you is when you take a step and your foot inside the shoe moves. There is a noticeable, almost audible slopping sound. This is not good.
No, we're gross. We're really gross, guys.
Yeah, we're pretty gross.
as a unit, as a team, we're gross.
Is there, around this structure, is there any type of perhaps watering hole or outdoor cistern that we could perhaps clean up in, or should we look for a bathhouse?
You probably should get a little closer to the building to figure that out. You're still quite a distance
Let's
away.
go check it out.
Yeah, let's make our
It
way.
looks interesting.
I mean, you know, who knows? Maybe they won't discriminate against those who smell bad.
Maybe they smell like shit.
Could be.
No.
Who
Let's
are
go.
we to judge? Let's go look.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys head down this little grassy hill. You cross the north-south trade road. And there is a fairly visible and well-traveled double-track pathway. It looks like wagon carts have been on it before, and a good amount of foot traffic, that leads from the north-south trade road through this field, in and amongst the actual crops, which look at this point like they're wheat, and they also look like they have recently been cut. So they're all sort of laying in really nicely organized mounds, row by row, drying. The afternoon sun is hot, and so it seems like the perfect day for this. There's not a lot of moisture in the air, and you can almost smell these grasses as they dry in the air. As you get out into the field further, you can really feel the intensity of the sun in this area, and it's hot. You've spent, a full day underground. It's been cold, it's been wet, and the sun baking on you as you cross this field is actually kind of pleasant to some degree. As you get closer, there is a small sign that hangs just above the door of this structure, and it says The Crooked House Pub.
Ooh. Fucking pub.
And oddly, to answer your question, Thrud, you do notice on the side of the building that is facing you, there are two very, very large, what appear to be steel round tubs. Now, they look like the type of tub, because they are filled with water, they look like the type of tub that's meant to water livestock, possibly, or maybe to water horses that have been on a long journey, but you could easily climb into one.
You're taking a bath?
Keep your clothes on, though.
Well, I mean, it's definitely a possibility, but do we really perhaps want to soil these people's animals' water with sewage?
You want to ask permission?
It might be the the proper thing to do?
All right, let's do it.
I don't know. I don't like people.
Is there anyone still outside?
There's a couple of people on the porch. There's 2 men out there. They look like farmhands. They're wearing a kind of almost a coverall that looks like it's made of like a heavy canvas cloth, maybe a waxed canvas cloth. They both have straw hats on that appear to be more functional than they are fashionable. They kind of eye you guys up a little bit. They particularly have an eye on you, Tryfon, as you kind of walk up with your 2 massive asymmetrical horns on. And one of them sees you kind of tip your head, and he kind of like nods cautiously, but he looks around at the party, and you guys are pretty soiled, so you're going to turn a few heads. But you walk up onto the front porch, and the door to the place is propped open, and there's actually some sound coming from inside. It sounds like there's quite a few people in there.
Man, are we gonna go in?
Hey, listen, guy, how you doing?
Guy?
I'm
There were
all
2
right.
of them.
Do you think anyone's gonna care if we hop in one of these water buckets?
Oh, you mean the ones down on the side of the building? Mm-hmm. Well, those are for watering the horses. Why you need to get in? Well, you look kind of dirty.
I'm disgusting. As a unit, we're
Perhaps-
disgusting.
Perhaps a better question
Slipped
is...
and fell.
Yes, we all fell in quite a bit of muck in the road. Perhaps is there a room in this structure that has some type of bathing facility?
Oh, plenty. You go ask Yolmar at the desk, or he probably is at the bar right now, and he'll help you get a room.
I think that makes sense.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah.
And
Appreciate it.
I'd
He'll
like to
have
go
someone
inside.
draw a bath for you if you need. We get them sometimes.
That'd be incredible.
Sometimes.
Depends on the day of the week. Baths are extra, so you know.
I think
Understandable.
we need
We
a
need
bath.
extra,
We need
yes.
extra.
Yeah, totally.
I would like to go
Can we-
inside.
Should we try and pre-rinse? Maybe not get into the bucket, but
Nah, man.
I would
okay, fine. We
take
walk
my
in.
boots off maybe and dump out some of the muck.
I'm also gonna try to get rid of some of the ugliness.
So you're just kind of scooping water out, and
I'm going to take off my boots and pour out the chunks.
are you on the porch still?
No, before the
Head down out of the.
Yeah, I'm going
Okay.
to step away from the building. Yeah,
You don't want to pour it on his head?
Wow.
The
no one's
contents.
come over me, but being in the sewage made me suddenly be considerate of things like that.
Interesting.
I don't understand what it is.
I don't know
but,
how that worked.
You step off the porch, and you really struggle to pry these boots off of your mildly swollen and completely saturated feet. And you pour the contents out onto the ground, which are a little alarming, to be honest with you. They're, it's not the type of thing you want floating around there, but you do manage to get some out for sure. Your socks that you're wearing are absolutely like encrusted with this muck as well. It's horrible.
I will.
I'm gonna try and scoop some water. Just give it a quick rinse.
Okay. I mean, you guys take about 15 minutes at the basin, with your hands pulling water out, wiping yourself down. You're making yourself kind of wet, but you are getting a decent amount off. You manage to wash your faces off a little bit. You do make yourselves a little bit more presentable. It
that's
takes
better.
about 15 minutes or so. And while you're doing this, you do see several people go in and out of the establishment. They all seem to be relatively good-natured people. It doesn't seem like a place that's too rough. So that's where we're at.
We make our way in.
Okay.
Looking cleaner.
Okay. Up the stairs.
What was the name of it? What was the name of it again?
The
Crooked
Crooked
House.
House Pub.
Cricket House Pub. As you enter, you see this really, really old post and beam, high vaulted ceiling first floor structure that is, you see up in the beams, it's strewn with these like these strings that have like all different colored like little flags on them. There's all kinds of decoration about. Lanterns on the walls keep the lighting warm. The space is very comfortable in that there's a fire over in the corner. Even though the day is hot, they keep a small fire going. There appears to be a large iron kettle that swings in on an arm. It seems to be cooking some kind of stew. There's a really beautiful aroma in the place. Tryfon.
Yeah.
Roll a d4 for me, please.
Ooh. 2.
A 2. Over next to the fireplace, there is a small stage set up. And on that stage, you notice this dragonborn male, which is odd. He's wearing this headband around his head. His hair is long and gray silver, hangs around. He's got this very large beard hanging around his neck. He has numerous beaded chains that have pendants hanging on them like medallions. He has this printed robe that hangs from him, and he has a very elaborate and large lute in his hands, and he's just sitting there plucking out this song and singing. He actually has really quite a beautiful voice. You don't spend time listening to the lyrics necessarily, but he definitely catches your attention. The rest of the room is bustling. There are tables about, probably more than 20 of them. This is a really large establishment. And I'd say that at least 3/4 of them have people at them. And most of the people, as you survey the room, appear to be of 2 types. One, travelers from the north-south trade road. So you have people that look like they could be merchants that are on their way back from the south possibly, or on their way out. And then there are also farmhands. There are people that clearly are working the fields and are dressed somewhat similarly in a kind of utilitarian clothing from working the fields. There's a bar. It's quite long. There's probably about 28 seats at this bar that stretches along the one left-hand wall. And behind the bar, you do see a relatively handsomely dressed half-orc male standing there. And he's pulling taps on beers and putting beers down on the bar for people. And he kind of like nods, sees you walk in the door and kind of like nods. And, you know, there's music, there's good smells. Everything in this place feels like it's in pretty good shape.
I'm going to walk up to the bartender.
Just one other thing to point out as you're walking in, and this kind of came when you were cleaning yourselves off outside. You do notice that Circe and Remy both are quiet. And you turn to Remy and you ask her, "Are you all right? You've been kind of quiet since you came out of the tunnel system." And she said, "I don't feel well." Circe looked at her and said, "I don't either. I'm really feeling ill." They both have a bit of a pale look about
I'm
them.
immediately concerned, and I'm going to do a medicine check on Remy.
Go ahead and roll one for me. Are you proficient in medicine?
I'm not.
I will roll it for you, since that is a house rule. Which I think at some point we have to talk about that so our viewers know like how we do this.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna roll for you. So you kind of take a good hard look at Remy, and you do notice that some of the color is out of her face. You reach out and you put your hand over on her forehead, and you do notice that she's warmer than normal. She might be running a bit of a fever at this point. That being said, it doesn't appear to alarm you.
Yes.
So,
This was out at the water.
yeah. So you've since walked in, but you're aware that she's not feeling well.
I'm going to turn to the group and say, "Hey guys, maybe like messing around in the poop. Maybe got in their system or something."
Circe
you know?
took a few mouthfuls.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. They're definitely feeling something from that. But you know the two of them are close.
But did Remy take
maybe.
a mouthful?
Remy...
Remy was in the mire, I think.
Yeah. Did they go under?
I don't know if they went under. They were on my shoulders a lot of the time.
Slight constitution, perhaps?
Yeah. You know, I don't know if she's a good immune system, you know what I mean?
You would know.
I would suggest perhaps maybe we get a room here.
Let's get a room for them, a little
Let
tea
them-
or something.
Let them rest. And maybe
Get them
some-
cleaned up,
some
maybe.
food. I think we all need to get a
Yeah,
good bath and
true.
cleaned up, and perhaps be civilized for a moment after that expenditure.
That'd be nice. Let's make
I
our
will
way.
approach the barkeep and ask if they have a room with a bath.
He looks at the three of you and he's just like, "Certainly, absolutely. We have several rooms to choose from, and you said you require a bath?
It would be preferable, yes.
Yeah, the bath.
We all-
The bath is an extra 2 silver a night. We don't have too many like that, so hope that's not a problem for you.
Not the problem at all. We will
Alright.
gladly pay the extra.
And if you want, I can have one of our helpers, Lambrix, can help you draw that bath if you'd like. We can have that waiting for you later. Maybe you'd like to settle in and have something to eat or something to drink.
I think we'd like it now.
Yeah,
The bath
Yeah,
now.
I think the
now.
bath would be much more preferable before we eat.
Yeah.
I need to, yes, wash
Please.
a little. How much is a room for
Understood.
for the evening?
Huh?
How much is a room?
5 silver pieces.
5 silver?
Yep.
And an extra 2 for the bath?
7 for the bath total.
7 total for the bath. I think it makes sense for us to splurge.
Agreed.
We'll take 2 rooms with baths, please.
2 rooms it is. I'll have those drawn up for you right away.
Thank you very
He
much.
kind of turns and he's just like, go get Lambrix for me. I need to have a couple of baths drawn up. And then one of the barkeeper's helpers kind of nods and scurries off. Something to drink in the meantime?
Yes, I think that perhaps a round of mead
Sure.
would be lovely for everyone.
Hey, a little bit of mead's always nice.
Absolutely. He kind of goes over. He grabs a couple of tankards, and he begins to pull those for you. Sets them out on the bar, and you guys begin to drink. It's the establishment is pretty decent. You begin to sort of listen to the crowd, listen to the conversation, listen to the vibe of the place. And it seems like you're on the outskirts of North Veritas, you know that. But this seems to be a much more sort of rural endeavor. There's conversation about some of the woes of farming and workload. You hear merchants kind of whispering to each other at tables and trying to sort of just keep to themselves as outsiders. You do notice that the bard that is singing at the fireplace, he kind of seems to be more of a folk singer on some level. He's really sort of a very sort of storytelling kind of oriented singer, it seems. So you spend a little bit of time listening to that. He seems to be singing about something called the Vassarine. You're not sure what that means. You can roll history checks if you want to see if you know what the Vassarine is.
Vaseline.
Oh, balls. That's an 8.
An 8.
I think I know what the Vaseline is.
I'd like to be listening out for something else if possible. I'm listening for any mention of Blackwater Keep,
Blackthorn Keep?
Blackthorn Keep, or goblins or trade routes.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
I'm not proficient in perception.
I'll get you. It's a big place. There's a lot of conversation. And so nothing really stands out yet. It's not something you couldn't necessarily ask for. You could make conversation with people, but you don't hear anything outright.
Okay.
It is not long before
I need a bath.
Lambrix approaches. You see a female half-orc come around the bar wearing what appears to be like a kind of hotel apron or a house apron. And she kind of comes over and she says to you, she's like, are you the group that's looking for the rooms with the
Yeah,
bath?
that's us.
They're almost ready. I can show you to your room if you'd like to come.
Yes,
this way.
please.
Okay. So she kind of leads you down past the bar, and there's an opening in the bar room that kind of leads out into the main part of the house. It opens up wide into what appears to be a larger foyer. There is a huge staircase that kind of winds up the exterior walls of the room, and you can look all the way up this staircase up to the center of the house. And at this point, you can really see the exaggerated deformities in the architecture of the place as it sort of racks to the left and to the right on its way up these stairs. And for a moment, you're a little bit almost uneasy about the nature of this place and if it would even hold together. But people seem to move about it in a very confident way. She leads you up to the third floor, And as you get to the landing on the 3rd floor staircase, there's a right-hand turn as you walk around the balcony, and there are 2 rooms side by side. She opens the first one, throws the door wide open, and basically says, "You've got a space here," and the other door is already open, and she goes, "And you have a space here, which we're just finishing up filling this tub. We'll have the other tub ready shortly for you. Is there anything I can get you in the meantime?"
Hey, can we get some tea, please?
Tea?
Yeah.
I can do that.
Do you offer
yes.
any kind of wash, laundry service?
We do. It's not often that gets used, but I can certainly. Do you need something laundered?
We got.
You seem a little bit.
Disgusting.
We're filthy.
Yeah,
You look a
gross.
little like it's been a while for you.
Yeah.
We can help you with that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Do me a favor. When you do get everything off and you're in the bath, why don't you leave your things in a pile in the hallway?
Okay.
And I can have those taken care of for you. And if you want to make yourselves comfortable downstairs in the pub, get a bite to eat, settle in by the fire.
I mean, are we just
I'll have
supposed
this
to be-
taken care of for you.
Are we supposed to be naked as a group in the room?
Oh, is this all that you have? Do you have any other clothing?
No other clothes, no.
Oh,
Do you have some robes or tunics, perhaps?
let me check with you, Omar. I'll see if I can find something for you. I understand what's going on here, so
Swap
I'll see
in
if
the
I can help out.
bathrobes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to scare you guys.
She scurries off and leaves you to the room. There seems to be one other helper in the room. This seems to be a younger human female who is bringing in these like carryable pitchers and pouring hot water in and then going back down the hall to what appears to be, it seems like there's fireplaces on every floor. And she's drawing water off of a pot that's over an open fire and just coming in and filling the baths for you. So,
Thank you.
yes, you're welcome.
Did we get the tea yet?
Not yet. Here's this. She scurried off. She'll be back.
All right. I guess we make sure that Remy and Circe are laying down on the bed.
Should we let them get cleaned up first? And put them
Yes,
to bed?
and then don't let them on the bed while they're gross. That's a
Yes.
good idea.
I mean, it's helpful to save the sheets at
Yeah.
the very least, yeah.
Yeah. All right, they go first, I guess.
Who's going first?
The girls are going first.
Oh, fair enough.
No, the sick girls.
Yeah. Sorry.
Perhaps we should split up, ladies in one room and farm friends in the other rooms.
Well, what's nice about this? There's 2 things that are interesting about this.
I guess I deserve that, huh? Damn.
Circe takes one bath, and Remy takes the other bath. And like the good old saying says about don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, do you know the history of that saying?
No. Please enlighten
Have you
us.
heard this saying before?
No.
I've heard the saying, yes.
Yes. So the saying, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, comes from a time when bathtubs used to be filled for everyone in the house to bathe. And the bathing would usually take place from the oldest down to the youngest. So the baby would usually go last. And by the time the baby went, the bathwater was so discolored that you could easily lose the baby in the bathwater. So by the time Circe and Remy are done with their baths, your bathtubs are, well, less than clean. However, the water's still hot, and Circe and Remy are squeaky clean. You guys can decide who goes next.
How are we fighting for that one?
I'll go last.
Oh, you're going last? Aren't you a little furry?
I'm furry.
As a Minotaur with fur, he's probably packing a lot of material in there.
Yes, I am. I'm used to being disgusting, so it's fine.
Okay.
Most likely cake
Appreciate it.
with
No.
things.
I know you're very fancy lollipop, and you like to look good.
How
know.
did I get this nickname, Lollipop?
You don't remember?
No.
Did you get hit so hard you don't remember?
I think you might have gotten hit pretty hard when you got that name.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We did consume a bit that evening.
You fought a guy
was
named.
that night that
Oh,
we got
yes.
that? Oh,
Yes.
Remember Fat?
I remember Fat.
Yes. I think that's when you were.
Yeah, you did good though. Like I was really.
No, I didn't. Don't.
Listen,
Don't.
guy.
No.
Just because
You-
you didn't,
you have the
you don't
liquor
have
to
the
put it on.
chutzpah to hurt him doesn't mean you didn't
Yeah,
have
because
good
I don't
technique.
have some fucking serrated horn coming off
Well,
of
listen.
my head.
I had to go through a lot to get this
I
serrated
get
horn.
that.
All right.
Yeah, I get that. But still, how did I? Why am I a lollipop? What is lollipop?
Do you want to change your name?
I don't
Oh.
know.
I believe it's a confection, which is usually brightly colored, and therefore
I am brightly colored.
it's
You
somewhat
are.
fitting.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
Thrud jumps into one of the tubs.
As Circe and Remy are finishing up their baths and Thrud is getting in, you do notice that Laldru comes back with a tray. She's got a nice large teapot on it and several cups that can be. She kind of brings it into the room, places it down on one of the end tables for you.
While they're bathing, I would like to take care of Remy a little bit. Maybe give her some tea, make
Okay.
sure she's feeling all right before she lays down.
Yeah, she's after the bath, she's visibly drowsy and she's kind of shivering a little bit. Circe, however, is in far worse shape. Circe looks really not well. Circe climbs into one of the beds, pulls everything up over herself, including a blanket from the bed next to it, and she's just shaking.
I'm in a bath, so
Okay. So
Yeah,
through
I'm also gonna give some after Remy's feeling better. I'm gonna give some tea to Circe.
Okay. Well, they seem to both appreciate it. They seem to be at the same time hot and cold, as if they're running a fever, and the tea does seem to sort of offer them a little bit of comfort. Bran and Thrud are in the bath right now, and they take their time, get themselves cleaned up. And it's not long before it's your turn to climb in. The water has grown exponentially worse, but it's certainly better than where you've been, right? And so you're able to sort of slip in. It's a little bit on the lukewarm side now, and you are able to scrub out your fur pretty well. There is some kind of like very thick, heavy, waxy bar of like a lye soap there, and so you lather it up really, really good, and you get yourself all cleaned out. And it's not the greatest, but it's certainly miles better than where you were when you came in.
As I come out of the bath and I've kind of dried off, my fur is noticeably poofier.
Yes, you have a bit of a lift
Yeah.
to all of your fur,
Yeah.
looking rather dashing.
Oh,
Both
look at you all puffed up. Are you going somewhere?
I'm ready to mingle.
Apparently.
both Remy and Circe have both gone to sleep.
How's Mule?
Mule is actually under the covers in the same area that Remy is sleeping. You can see a small lump next to her, and the rat's tail is just sticking
Remy
out
made a
from
friend.
under the covers.
That's adorable.
make a friend.
Aw. Alright.
Does it look as if our friends Remy and Circe are like visibly in distress, or do they look as if they were? Can I do a medicine check on both of them
Are you
too?
proficient?
Yes, I am.
Do it.
Just to make sure that they. That is a 12.
A 12. You know they're running fevers, so you know that they've got some kind of illness, but it doesn't necessarily. I would say it's easy to tell that Circe's in far worse shape than Remy, but you understand why as well. It might be in your interest to try and find someone to help Circe. Remy seems like she might just need to sleep it off. It's hard to say, but Circe also started feeling this way earlier than Remy, so you're not sure if this is something that Remy's going to grow worse with. But you got a healer on your mind. You're thinking,
Yes.
Can I flag down Laldru?
Mm-hmm.
Say, hey, Laldru. Tryfon, nice to meet you.
Oh, it's a pleasure. What can I do for you?
You see, our friends here, they're not feeling too good. Would you be able, if I, this will be a couple silver pieces, could you just check on them every couple of minutes?
Of course. Is there anything I could get for them? They do seem like they're in a little bit of discomfort.
Yeah. They seem to be running a fever.
Did you want to go down? By the way, your clothes are finished. I just have to run downstairs and bring them up to you. But
What am I wearing right now?
You're in the fluffy buff.
Wait, I now have clothes on?
Well, as a Minotaur, you're anatomically speaking. I'm not sure exactly what we're looking at here. Would you like to tell us?
Well, here's the thing, right?
Oh, here we go.
Step 1 in how to get cancelled.
Let's just say that, there's a new member of the party.
What the fuck?
They said
It is.
member.
And his name is Corkscrew.
Oh my god. I'm sorry I asked.
You did this.
I asked.
Suddenly, I'm not feeling very
How
good either.
about?
They were supposed to bring us robes.
How
I'm
about?
in a robe.
Actually, you would be. You know, she was supposed to bring you.
I don't think you
said
can
that.
take corkscrew back. It's not something you can just
so
roll
you
back
know,
up and plug inside.
You guys asked. Listen.
Oh my God. Are you going to tuck corkscrew away now?
I mean,
I mean, the corkscrew is out of the bag. I think we all know everything.
You can
about
see it through
I
the
mean,
robe. You know what I mean?
the robe. I think the robe might be a little small for him.
Yeah, there's a
That
dick,
is
there's a
true.
dick print the whole time. You know
Wow.
what I mean?
It's
Wow.
like when you're at the hotel. It's like when you're at the hotel and there's just the hand towel.
Can I get a? Can I
Instead of
get
the
a?
back towel.
Yes.
You're trying to
Can I
dry
get a
off.
You look over at Laldru, and she's just kind of like, if a half orc can blush, she's sort of like, oh my, yes, I'll get your clothes.
Thank you.
And I'll absolutely check in on your friends.
I want to give her a silver piece.
Oh, thank you. That's
Per-
really nice of you.
Perhaps you have any tinctures or potions that are good to bolster one's immunities? Any healers
I
about?
don't have that myself, but I could check. Yolmar might know how to deal with this situation. Let me see what I can ask of him. All right.
If they are in serious distress, I could always do a little something for them. But perhaps we should find a more menial
Yeah, I know Remy's
route
looking all
to
right.
make them okay.
Circe's looking a little worse for wears. You know.
All right. So she does return. Laundry returns with your clothing. You're able to get yourselves dressed. It's actually been laundered really quite decently. Everything's cleaned up and back to where it was, with the exception of, maybe a little bit of like light staining, but the smell is gone. And the clothes actually feel somewhat warm, as if they were either dried by fire or by some other means. But
This is what it feels like. I'm being
This feels
pampered.
good.
What is this?
I feel fresh again.
damn.
Mostly.
yes, you're definitely fresh. So what do you think? Do you want to head down to the pub?
Yeah, let's go mingle a bit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
All right, we head down.
Okay. So you guys go down 3 flights of stairs. You find yourself in the pub. It is just packed with people. It's really quite full. And it seems like a friendly crowd.
This place is hot.
The Dragonborn is actually still at it, up there playing the lute, singing again. What do you guys want to do?
Should we ask the bartender if he knows of anyone that could possibly take a look at Circe?
Did Laudru ask like she was supposed to?
She did. Or no, she didn't have a chance. When she
Okay.
came back up to deliver your clothes, she hadn't yet asked Yolmar.
Would it be safe to assume she was going to come find us down here, or should we ask by ourselves?
I think either way could work. You could certainly ask.
Okay.
They might be like, I don't know.
I trust Laudru. I don't trust random people, right?
I mean, is the bartender a random person?
No.
Just because you showed your corkscrew to
Well,
Laudru?
look,
like,
dude, no one showed their corkscrew anywhere. What are you talking about? Don't talk about me like that.
You were the one that brought
I
it
just
up.
met you.
You brought it up.
Let's move on.
The new member of the party.
Yes, you were flaunting it about the
Look, if you guys feel insecure, that's not my problem.
Fucking.
I don't think you really want to get into a measuring contest with me.
Wow. I don't, Thrud. You know why? I respect you too much.
Thank you.
Of course.
My name's
There are so many things that I could say, but I don't know if it's appropriate
No,
for me to
please
say.
don't.
You know what?
No, don't. Hold back.
I have a new nickname.
Yes.
What?
I go by Lollipop.
Don't do it.
Windmill.
Wow.
Windmill? I'll take it. It's better than lollipop. So.
Oh my god. This is cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I died and went to hell.
This is what you get from just us tonight, man.
I will never ask about anatomical features again. Ever.
So we go ask the bartender. Let's walk up to Yolmar.
Yolmar's busy right now, and he sees you, and he's like, "Ah, welcome back. I have a full menu.
Yeah.
Some decent house specialties for you. Is there something I can get for you? How was the treatment upstairs? Were the baths sufficient?"
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Amazing.
Excellent. You
Yes, they
do
were
certainly
quite
look
lovely.
better.
And Lyle Drew is very helpful.
She's wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
We actually were wondering something.
Sure.
Do you know of any healers?
A healer.
Yes.
You see him kind of glance over at the Dragonborn, the gentleman who's playing the lute by the fire. And the Dragonborn, as he's playing and singing his songs, you notice also makes eye contact with Belmar. So they have a moment, and he kind of like nods. And so he's like, let me see what I can do. What do you need this for? Is everything okay?
Yeah, our friends, they're not feeling too good. We think they're coming down with a cold.
Oh,
Something
okay.
like
So
that.
nothing life-threatening then.
It does not seem to be totally life-threatening yet, but it's slightly concerning.
One's worse than the other.
To help if someone that's a bit feverish, perhaps.
Occasionally we have a couple of people that are skilled in the healing arts that come through here and pass through this place, but I'm not sure if they're here now, but Hectes over there, our bard for the evening, he's got a friend who's a decent herbalist who might be able to help out.
Maybe we'll go speak to him.
Well, I made eye contact with him. When he finishes up, he'll pop over.
Thank you.
Yeah. Would you like to hear the specials tonight?
I would
Sure.
love
Yes,
to.
absolutely.
Fantastic. So first of all, we've got this fantastic dish that our chef is calling the Black Sheep. It's these beautiful braised lamb shanks. They're cooked in this black beer. Absolutely fabulous with rosemary gravy. One of my favorites, actually. It's something I think you'll like, served with a little mashed potato. We also have a dish. Look, I didn't name this one, okay? It just happens to be our chef's a little kooky with the names, but he calls it Bangers and the Bard. Plump pork sausages grilled to perfection. I've had this one as well. Served with a side of caramelized onion and apple chutney. Really quite delicious. We've got a house stew that is a local favorite around here. It's a hearty stew. It's made with beef, the black beer again, root vegetables, and some barley, farm fresh barley from right here in North Veritas. We got a dish we call a hobgoblin. It's a flaky pastry. It's filled with like a savory mixture of like minced beef, onions, mushrooms, all packed in like a nice little pocket. And then we have a dish we call the Vassarine. Now the Vassarine is over there cooking over against the fireplace there in the pot. It's a vegetable soup, basically, with seasonal vegetables and barley and herbs and, that sort of thing. Everything is between 1 and 3 silver pieces, so make yourselves at home. Let me know if you want anything.
The Vassarine sounds wonderful.
The Vassarine.
Yes.
Wonderful. You like
What
that?
would you recommend?
Well, I like the lamb shanks, personally. That's
Give it to me.
personal favorite.
I'll take it.
Done.
I would like the Bangers and the Bard.
Perfect. So we're getting a nice range. Maybe
Ooh,
you
I
could
was
all...
thinking about that one.
Well, if you want to, perhaps we could.
Oh, halvesies.
Yes.
Down.
If I'm correct, the bard was singing about the Vassarine.
Oh, Hectus, yeah. Yeah, well, the Vassarine is a long tale and myth that you've never heard of the Vassarine.
Never know.
Oh, interesting. Well, when you get a chance to talk to Hectus, maybe he can tell you the story. But right now, I'm a little busy, so let me get your order in and I'll be back. He takes off. You see him scribble a few things down. He takes a sheet of paper and he slides it through the wall. There's a small slot in the wall. And then he gets off to pouring beers for people. He kind of, as he's pouring them, he looks over and he's like, "Gentlemen, drinks?"
Yes. More drinks, yes.
Same.
All right.
More
He,
meat.
Oh, he's asking us.
he pulls. Yeah, he pulls.
Yeah, I was confusing.
He pulls for you. Yeah, he's
I know
talking
She's
to
a
you.
gentle lady.
I know I have a beard, but.
Oh, my forgiveness. Sorry about that.
I'm a kind of mouth. Happens all the time.
Oh,
But I mouthed it.
wow.
All right. So Hectes is, singing this song and working his way through that. What are you guys what are you doing? Are you...
Is there any table?
Yeah,
You said it's
there's...
pretty packed?
Yeah, but there's a couple of tables still available.
I'm gonna turn to the
Tables, or should we hit up the bar?
Well, here's the thing. I think maybe we use this place to our advantage. We want to get some information, right? Maybe we
Is there a
make
fire
friendly with
in this
people.
room?
Sure.
The fire? Yeah, the soup is actually cooking over the
Any
open
tables
fire. Not an open
Is
fire,
that
but a
close
large...
to-
Top
Is that close to Hectus? Is there perhaps a...
Yes, so the
soup
fireplace is a
close?
walk-in fireplace
Oh.
with the soup cooking over it, and the stage is just to the right of that where Hectus is playing.
And perhaps a seat somewhere close to the fire? Or is it...
Yes, it would not be hard to find a table like right close to there.
I would like to sit next to
She
the
found us a table.
All right, we're going.
Perfect.
Boys, sit down.
So
Sit down.
you kind of cross the room, squeezing in and out of
Yes.
people. Tryfon gets the occasional look, actually, and so does Bran here and there. The whole party is kind of an interesting mix of people, and so occasionally you sort of rouse an eye from somewhere in the crowd. That's Don't forget, North Veritas is like a regional hub, so you've got a lot of traffic passing in and out. So even the farmhands that are sort of living on the outskirts of the town, they're used to seeing a diverse population passing through this place. Plus, North Veritas as a city that is based around an agricultural economy is... And now, over to Thrud Cam.
We need to,
Is that
is it good?
the Chocodile?
It's like a crocodile. It's got marshmallow and really good stuff in it. You guys should eat one.
Oh my god, I
Break it
can't.
down.
No, I want the cookies. I'm gonna have the cookies.
You gotta try it. Really good. Sorry.
That's actually totally awesome. Okay, so there was something I wanted to look at really quickly,
Yeah.
and that is going to be where...
So hub city, lots of trade folks.
Yes, so I was basically saying that even though you guys do have a very different look about you, the folk of North Veritas are not...
We're all weird, but we kind of blend in.
Exactly.
It's not out of the norm, I think.
Yeah. I think I'm out of the norm, but it's fine.
A little bit.
I'm
I might be a little bit too.
Yeah. What are you? I know you're.
Ladrin.
Oh, yeah. That'll
I'm
do
a
it.
lollipop, dude. What are you talking about?
So, Hectes finishes up his song just as he's noticing the three of you sitting down at the table. And he kind of turns and looks at all of you and kind of gives a very sort of friendly and welcoming nod to all of you. And he kind of like takes his lute and carefully places it beside his stool. And he stands up, and his locks of gray long hair are sort of, flowing with his movement. And he kind of like comes over to you, and he's actually got like a very pleasant smell about him. He seems to wear like some kind of like woody fragrance. And the cape that you saw him wearing actually trails all the way down to the ground, and it's got this pattern dyed into it, like a block pattern that looks like celestial bodies, like different types of stars and moons in it. And he comes over and he's like, "Welcome to the Crooked House. I noticed you talking to Yolmar before. Was there something that Yolmar motioned to me, so I'm just, maybe it's not my place to interrupt you, but is there something that you needed?"
Well, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, I think.
Likewise.
You do have quite a fancy way about yourself. Don't quite know how I feel about that yet, but it's okay.
It's all good, don't worry.
Oh no. Talking down to Thrud?
Well, that's nice to hear. We do have a friend of ours who might be in hell, feeling a little bit under the weather, and we were wondering if you knew of any healers in the area that might be able to help us out. Perhaps a nice salve or a tincture or something to take a bit of fever away.
I have a friend named Deegan who could possibly help out. Deegan's good with the herbalist things. He's really good with plants, supplies me with the plants that I like, and can often make some really cool stuff from the plants that he finds. I trust him.
Is Deegan close by to the Crooked House?
Deegan's not here right now, but he usually shows up somewhere around 8. So I'd expect to see him in a little while. But you going to stick around for a little bit?
I think we would be most likely staying in the evening.
Yeah. Excellent. I'll get a hold of him when he comes in.
Excellent. That would be much appreciated. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
I'm going to take a little break from the singing and get myself some libation from the bar. So I'll be seeing you around.
Hey, listen, sometime I'd love to hear about the Vaseline.
Oh, yeah, the Vaseline. Yeah. You don't know about the Vaseline?
Never heard of it.
Oh, that's fantastic. Where are you from?
It's a good question. I'm from a city near the coast.
Oh, which coast?
The eastern side.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
You ever been down that way?
No, I haven't really. I don't get to the coast much, but I do consider myself a bit of a traveler, so maybe I'll get out that way sometime.
Yeah, totally.
But the Vaseline is a fascinating thing. It's like,
Did he just say fascinating thing?
No.
No?
No.
I just heard that?
Yeah, that's
you heard what you wanted to hear.
That's the old McGurk effect happening over there.
Is it like a legend? Like one of them folk tales?
Well, it all depends on what side of the story you come from. So, there's people that believe in it wholeheartedly, and others say that it's just a myth or a legend. But the story basically goes that the Vaseline is an object. It's a living object that has all the energy of all of Atania bound into it. But oftentimes you'd think that an object like that was like something special, like a diamond or something from outer space. But this object, the Vaseline, is more like it's like a heart, but it's more like a heart that lives in the ground, like something natural and rooted to all existence. But as the legend goes...
Like a tree?
Well, kind of like a tree's roots to some degree, if a root had like its own central nervous system, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean, yeah.
So the Vaseline, right, it could talk to all living things planted in the earth, and it had this ability to sense things like danger or when the vibes of a particular area were out of sync. And there was a group of people that really believed heavily in the Vaseline. One of them decided to steal it one day and take it away for himself. Now, legend has it that Vaseline traveled across the land and was planted in another location. But alas, these are folk tales, things to sing about. I believe them. Maybe you listen to my songs long enough and you'll believe them too.
Yeah, maybe.
I write about them. I love these stories.
Can I get a check to see? I've seen people that do drugs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like all your party members.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Can I get a check to see if this guy is on drugs?
Yeah. I mean, you're not really a medicine type of person, so
It's more of like an observation. I've been around that kind of business.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you go ahead and roll a perception check for me, and I'll.
You want me to roll it?
Yeah, you roll this one, since this is something that you kind of have some experience with.
12.
A 12.
Yeah.
I mean, Hectus is pretty far out, and you do notice that, some of the areas around the whites of his eyes might glisten a little bit more than you're used to, and you're not necessarily sure if this is just the sort of protective coating over a dragonborn's eyes, or if he's just a little bit, floating around in another plane a little bit. But you can tell that he really genuinely believes what he believes, and you also get a sense of comfort from the way he talks. It tells you he is not a threat.
Yeah.
At all. He is so laid back.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I hope my food tastes as good as your story. I ordered the best.
Hey, that's what I want to hear. Okay. Well, I hope mine tastes as good as that crazy rack you got on your head. Anyway, I'm gonna go get myself something to wet the whistle. I'm a little dry.
Yeah, of course.
I'm talking to all of you.
Hey, take care.
Bye, Jasmine.
Yeah, you too, man.
The running joke.
And Hectes takes off for the bar.
How you doing? You does that bother you? Does that happen a lot?
That I am constantly thought of as it does not matter to me. I am who I am, and I do not care. To know me is to understand the softer parts, if you get to know them.
Well, I like to get to know them. Not that way. Not that way. Not
Not
like
for
that.
you.
Not
for
no,
you.
Look, not like
Not
that.
for
You
you.
made me a horn, right? That's a bond.
And that's where it
And
stops.
I owe you. And I'm never gonna be able to repay that. This is badass, Thrud. All right. I went from looking like a clown, a loser.
Maybe you should remember that the next time that you go looking to get some trinkets made from whoever.
Well, yeah, listen, I ain't going. I no more trinkets from anyone else but you.
I think we're past that, aren't we?
I'd still
past
hold a
that?
bit of a
Okay,
grudge.
I'm sorry.
What do you?
I'm
One
gonna
day
sit
you're
back.
gonna call on me, and
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
drink.
pay you back.
Very good.
All
You
right.
two have your fun.
All right.
So, it's not long after talking to Hectes that one of the barmaids comes out with 3 piping hot plates. In your case, it's a piping hot, very large, shallow bowl. And lamb shanks are put down in front of you. Yours is a plate just heaped with this kind of like mashed root vegetables and these beautiful sausages. And yours, gorgeous vegetable soup. You guys have your brews, you have your food, and you sit there enjoying like one of the best meals you've actually had in quite some time. This is actually kind of blowing the toenails food out of the water a little bit, but this also feels like local cooking, right? This does not feel like a hole in the wall that happens to have some decent grub. This is genuine.
I'll tell you what, man. It's a lot cheaper than the Mallard too. It's not a bad place.
It is a bit off of the beaten path, but I do like the rustic nature.
Yeah, me too.
How far about outside of town are we?
Roll survival check for me, just so you can see if you can get an idea.
There you go.
Out of the fucking train.
Reroll
That's
it.
a 7.
A 7?
That was pretty
You were
interesting
underground?
the way it landed.
Just,
Yeah.
You were underground in a man-made constructed thing.
so when we
It's-
came out on the hill, we didn't see.
not
giant
from where
town?
you're standing. No, it's not like right there, for sure. But also being from the Feywild and being in such a structure like that, you also kind of really lost your bearings under there. So it's hard to tell.
Okay.
I would like to eat my bangers in Bard.
I was gonna say, how does it feel eating that sausage after the experience we had earlier?
Why would you bring that up?
It's just fresh in my mind.
Well, these are not quite as twisty as what we saw before, eh?
Listen, guys, you know, look. If it doesn't make you uncomfortable, it doesn't make me uncomfortable. You know what I mean? It's fine.
I'm glad you're comfortable with it.
I'm very comfortable with it.
I was shocked.
I'm sorry that happened.
But
to
moving
you.
on.
All right. Now look, I got a question for you.
Uh-oh.
What's up with? No, tell me about yourself. Where you from?
Sorry. Feywild.
Yeah, you've been saying that.
I know.
And you know the thing is, I don't know what the fuck that is. That's
here.
the thing.
It's not here. It's
Well.
a different realm.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. How'd you get here? You can travel realms? You realm hopper?
So I need a wall right now.
So stop
were
playing. Stop
trying-
playing with your bangers.
We were
dude.
trying to have a conversation over here. Fucking corkscrews out.
You're a real problem tonight, Thrud. You know that?
Sometimes it happens. After I wind up in a muck for a day or two, I get a little racy.
Yeah, I can see that.
What can I say?
Please, please.
We mentioned this before. Mm-hmm. You know, my patron, my guy,
Yeah, your guy.
came to me.
Yeah, everyone's got a guy. I got a guy too. You know what I mean?
Okay. Oh, you got a guy?
Yeah, I got tons of guys
cool.
I know. You know what I mean?
All right. He came to me. He, offered me some powers.
That's pretty cool.
Told me to come here.
Told you to come here
Well, to this land.
to this plane.
Yeah, this plane. This planet.
For what?
I ultimately don't know yet.
It's
I
kind
don't
of
know.
nuts.
It is.
So he just told you to come here, and then you'll figure it out when you're
Yeah.
here.
Kind of adventure, Get stronger.
Yeah.
But
Interesting.
I found
It's a little aimless, isn't it?
a little bit, but
All right.
fuck around and find out. I don't know. I
Do
was
you-
kind of bored at home.
You'll miss it.
I miss it a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
I
You
got family.
left the people
I got
back.
family
Yeah?
back there. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I found a there's sometimes like portals that are that jump between the planes,
Interesting.
but sometimes gets a little fucked up when you come from one or the other. Sometimes you lose some of your memory.
Have you lost any memory?
I remember some stuff. I don't know if I remember everything. Like I remember my home.
You remember your family names?
Yeah, for the most part. But
Oh.
it's completely different over there. Creatures are different. Colors. Same.
Yes. You don't judge people based off their colors. You know what I mean?
But maybe I should find some different clothes. Like you guys are kind of making fun of me sometimes.
Well, no, look.
But-
You're unique.
You're unique too.
I know. That's why. I own.
A little bit
You
of,
know what I mean?
all of us. We got the other horns.
We're
know.
funky looking.
Yeah.
I had some friends, back where I'm from, and they were unique too. You ever met a Loxodon? No.
Cannot say I have.
They look like me, right? But their tusks are coming out of their mouth, and they got a long, phallic-like nose.
Here we go again.
It's not a corkscrew though.
But why does it always have to come back to this thing?
I didn't make it. I asked your creator, whoever you believe in. I don't know.
No, I don't think I've ever met one of them.
The funky looking guys, man. They're big though. They're about my height. Strong. Yeah. Good guys. Good guys I worked with.
What kind of work did you do with them?
The kind that requires muscle.
Honest work? Field work? Forging work? Building?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Insight check?
Roll deception or persuasion.
I'm gonna do persuasion.
Oh, it's a
You don't
8.
have to tell.
I also got an 8.
Yeah, you don't have to tell.
I'm good?
He seems shady, but kind of on the level. It's really hard to make out where he's going with this.
Look, I know.
I mean, I'm not going to judge someone with a past of any type.
We all have a past.
let's
We're
be
on the
let's
path.
be real, guys. Do you see me doing paperwork?
No,
No.
but I think everyone wonders. What is it with Remy?
It's a good question you got going on here. And I like you guys. We've been together for a while. I don't know how much longer we'll be together. It might be a while. You're cool people, so I'm gonna tell you on the down low, and I'm gonna tell you once, right? Remy is under protection. You ask about my work and you ask about my job.
Like, is she in trouble? Is she, people looking for her?
Here's the thing.
Protection from what? Everything?
We can't get into it. Maybe one day we can go further into it. But she is very important. That makes sense.
Not quite, but
Well, I mean, if she's walking around in sewers and talking to rats, I mean, I guess she's important.
Very important. And,
so you protect her.
yeah, I do. It's, yeah. Yeah.
Her being in this party, are we in danger?
No.
Insight check.
I'll let you roll either. Don't say what you're rolling, please.
13.
What do I do?
Did I?
Well, you decide which one you're
Well,
rolling.
yeah.
whether
Don't
it's-
say if it was.
Don't say which
perception or
one.
Like.
What did you roll?
A 20.
A 20.
Yeah.
Not that.
So then I don't.
So you kind of take him on the level.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's just, look, keep it on the down low. Don't mention it.
All right.
You guys are having this conversation, and you notice out of the corner of your eye, walking past the table, is a shorter halfling female with beautiful red hair, cut into all these beautiful braids, tied in with string. She wears this really cool hat, sort of set back on her head. She has a small guitar. She's wearing this long, beautifully tailored green and gold robe, and she has the most brightly lit face of freckles and these big, beautiful green eyes. And she kind of like walks past you and smiles. And she goes past you, sits up on the same stool that Hectes was sitting on a minute ago. And she strums a few chords on her small stringed instrument. And she looks out over the crowd and makes eye contact with you for a second. She's like, "Hi, my name is Molly Gapsy, and I'm going to sing you a few songs." And then she starts playing a few chords, and she launches into some song where she starts singing about some girl named Valen Chamberbride, and it's this long tale about Valen Chamberbride. Now, you guys are having your own conversation, so you don't necessarily listen to the lyrics unless you decide you want to, but...
Was that high directed toward Tryfon?
It seemed as if it was kind of just a friendly sort of, "Oh, you're cute," or "I see you
Did
and I
see
say
the
hello."
kind of like wink, little nod?
It
towards
was
him?
more like a professional gesture.
Oh,
She's moving
okay.
through the room. She sees Tryfon, and she's just like, "Hello," that sort of thing.
I'm used to it. Halflings love me for
Well,
some
they're-
reason.
What is it with you?
What?
Is tall.
I got a type. She ain't it.
Multiple half.
You know what I mean?
It's like
The little ones like me. They, it's because I can pick them up with one hand.
Do you
know
think
what I
he's a
mean?
playground?
climb them
Yeah,
like a
they want to
tree?
they want to climb me like a
Okay.
tree. You know what I mean? But I don't let it happen. It's not my type. I got a very specific type.
Well, I know you kind of pushed off Poppy.
Yeah, Poppy one was way too
This
direct.
one, though.
No one wants to see your
This one,
chestnut.
though.
You know what I mean? You think this one has a chestnut? If so, nobody wants to see it.
I want to ask her.
You want to see the chestnut?
I mean, maybe.
This might be your girl then.
All right.
Yeah,
But
I'll talk you up. I'll talk you up.
But the song, I don't know.
I think if you give her a little bit of time, perhaps she'll start singing about her chestnut because,
That's what I'm saying.
perhaps...
The song, if she's singing about some girl, I mean, she might not be playing for the team.
Yeah, does the song seem like romantic about this girl?
You listening?
Yeah.
Lyrics seem to be kind of dark about a childhood friend and how they were playing together and there was an accident. Let's roll perception. I want to see how much of the song you actually hear in and amongst your conversation.
I'm pretty interested. 22.
22, a 4. Okay, so
12.
you're thinking about why halflings are thinking of you as a playground. And meanwhile, Bran is actually listening
gonna
to
break him in
the
half.
song.
Exactly.
And what you hear is that Valen Chamberbride was the young daughter of a noble couple. And she used to have a friend who was also the daughter of a noble couple, and the two of them used to play. And one day, while they were playing with sticks like swords. They were playing knights. And Valen accidentally, mix of like, "I'm gonna get you," knocked the other girl's eye out. And so it's a story about how the other girl sought revenge on Valen for losing her eye, because after she lost her eye and she was her parents' only child, she was their darling. Her mother could never look at her the same. And so it's a sort of tragic story, right? And so she spends her life plotting her revenge. So now you're really interested in the song with the 22, and so you start to listen more deeply. Valen and her friend become obviously less friendly. They don't hang around anymore. And Valen falls in love with a boy when she's a teenager. The boy's name is Lane Sweetmaker. And they decide to marry after they're 20 years old. They spend all their time together when they're teens. And so she vows to marry Lane Sweetmaker. And on the day of her wedding, as they were finally finishing their vows to one another, with both families present and the noble houses of numerous people in the area, this black and white cloud forms between the high priest that's conducting the ceremony and Valen and Lane. They're just about to complete their vows to one another. And with that, this white hot searing gas pours out from the fire. Now Valen was an accomplished swordsman and had a very, very sharp and keen foot and step. And upon seeing this coming, just moved quick enough to avoid being, instantly hit by it. But the first 2 rows of people in the wedding were vaporized, and Lane and the high priest also vaporized by this cloud, and Valen was never seen again.
Can I whisper you?
Yeah. Well, what are you looking for? You can whisper to me.
Just as you're leaving,
Yeah.
the other girl was the one that lost the eye?
Yes.
Okay. What was the other girl's name?
Never got the other girl's name.
Yeah.
Molly Gapsy
Molly?
is the singer.
Oh. Molly. Was it Gaps? Gee? What is it?
Sorry about that. I had no idea. And while I'm here, I'm grabbing my stack.
Holy shit.
Come on.
Shit,
I haven't had a
man.
single cookie. I'm due.
Said I've earned it.
All right. We have officially whispered.
These whispers are brought to you by.
These whispers.
Did we get the other girl's name? Or no?
In the song?
Yeah.
Yes. Catherine.
Owen?
Okay.
Can I take my phone?
Yeah, it's dead anyway.
You serious?
Or it
Yeah,
just
it's
went
not
off.
plugged into a power supply. Sorry, dude.
It's actually dead?
Or it went off.
Well,
That's
or it
sad.
went off. I have a feeling that app that we're using on it is a real power hog.
Ah, fuck.
You want me to do it, Eric?
Is it just a? pull
Yeah, it's
down?
a spring load. Just squeeze, pull it.
You gotta probably. Aha. Let me get the white thing with it.
The white dongle's his too. Is it dead?
This shit is dead. Does anybody have a chart?
So I think this is a good time for us to take our break
Yes.
because it's a little after 8. So we're going to take a break and we will be back in a few. Yeah, so back from the break, we've had spills and thrills and some light conversation. You guys are in the Crooked House pub, and you are listening to Molly Gapsy finish up her song about Valen Chamber Bride. What are you doing?
Sorry, I'm writing down the Gapsy.
Do I
Gapsy?
see any familiar faces?
Any familiar faces?
Yeah.
You look around the room.
Nice bouquet.
No. Nothing. I mean, you haven't met that many people in North Veritas, and you're talking about a massive population.
Yeah.
So no.
All right. Do I see any of the farm guys, the farm hands?
Yeah, there's a table of them right next to you. There's 4 of them sitting around the table right now. They're kind of drawn in over their beers, looking at each other. They're talking. They're not being exceptionally loud, but they're talking.
Is it info time?
I was gonna say, was anyone listening to that song?
Oh no, I didn't hear a goddamn thing.
Okay, well,
I might have heard a little.
pay attention a little bit, but the freckled up redhead halfling.
Yeah, you're really focused on
I-
her, aren't you?
She says her
Sorry.
name was Molly.
I was Molly. I was paying attention to the song. I was intrigued.
What?
But whatever. She was talking about these 2, like, girls when they were kids. In one accident, they were playing make believe, swords, and the one poked the other one's eye out, and it was Catherine, the woman that we were told to look into. And the song went on and on about how, the other girl, the one that accidentally poked the girl's eye out, she suffered this horrible, well, she wasn't to be found again, but she was getting married. And a bunch of her, there was this, like, storm that, like, took out a ton of her family and what?
Yeah.
What?
The Void. You think any of them have beef with Catherine?
What are you talking about? This is a song in the bar that some little freckled girl is singing. I mean, don't you think you're jumping to conclusions?
Wait, who lost
Maybe.
her eye? Catherine?
Catherine lost her eye.
But how
And
do we
then-
know that Catherine that the Boone had asked us to?
I don't know.
Well, the other
It's
one-
just, maybe I'm jumping. But,
The other one lost. What did you say? Lost a husband? You said?
well, the other one was, like, attacked on her wedding day. The one that poked the eye out was attacked on the wedding day.
What do you think you would do after you
This is down the
you
road.
lose a husband?
But
You're gonna go around making a group of women that's gonna sneak around and kill people. That's kind of the course of events.
So are you saying that the one girl is the girl we just met?
That's what I thought you were saying. I thought.
Oh,
you were
I wasn't
that
saying that. I was.
Valen is
That's
Boone,
what I was
Boone is
saying.
Val.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't.
And I yell that in the bar, and everybody looks at me because I'm an angry dwarf.
See, I didn't get that far. Okay?
I was that. I was.
Oh,
I was
so you
thinking.
didn't quite jump as far of a conclusion as I thought you were jumping.
No. Just the fact that there's a song that's probably about the Catherine that we were told about.
Then why don't we bring your friend over here? Maybe she could tell us a little bit more about the story.
Well, you weren't listening.
Excuse me.
I think she's still playing.
Is she still playing?
She is still playing.
Don't interrupt her.
Yeah.
I'm throwing a silver piece in her. Is she
She's got a
busking? Does she have
small.
tip
She's got a
jar?
small bag that's open on the edge of the stage.
I have thick coin.
As she's in the middle of singing, she kind of looks at you and nods a bit.
I'll flip 2.
I'll give her a little like that so when you're done.
You what? You flip her 2?
I flipped 2.
All right, you've got her attention now. You've got her attention. That's a whole meal. That's like a whole meal.
You said silver, right?
Yes, it was silver.
Dork.
A few minutes go by and she finishes the song that she's on. Okay? And she kind of like puts her guitar down and she comes over and she's like, "Howdy.
Hey.
Thanks for the nice tip."
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. You got a wonderful voice.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Nobody liked your voice better than my friend here.
Oh, well, it's nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hi. I appreciate that tip. That was very nice.
You have a very pretty voice.
That's much more than I normally get, so I was surprised. But you motioned me over, so I figured I'd take a quick break. I haven't been singing very long, but...
Well, he was very. They're very interested in your song about the one-eyed girl.
The girls.
Oh, about Valen and Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Well, it's an old tale. It's a long, very well known story in these parts.
Is it a true story?
Oh, sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you know whatever might have happened to Valen?
Oh, nobody knows. It was at her wedding day. She vanished, and the thing is that a lot of the people who died in the tragedy, we had funerals for them, right? And then and they were accounted for, but no one ever found any trace of Valen. No one's ever seen her.
What does she look like?
What does Valen look like?
Yeah.
She was a beautiful young woman, raised by a noble family, fair skin, really, really beautiful long brown hair, a little bit of a curl in it.
I'm looking at a clock. Boone.
What?
I'm looking at a clock if it reminds me of Boone.
I mean, her description's kind of vague. I mean, you'd be really jumping to conclusions there if you went down that road.
All right.
But that story has been told, for over a decade now. It happened about a decade ago, maybe 12 years now.
Damn.
Okay.
Is this Catherine still about?
Catherine Darwich, and as she says that, the four farmers turn and look up from their table, and they're just like, they grunt and go back to their beers. Yeah, Catherine Darwich is, she's the thane of all this land. She collects on taxes and various, commissions and things for all the stuff grown here and collects rent. She's not exactly a very well-liked person.
I wonder why. Interesting.
So not a very benevolent landlord, as it were.
Well, you could ask the folks in here how they feel about her, but I don't think you're going to hear too many kind words, unless, of course, she walks in the room, and then everybody will probably kiss her feet.
What is it with feet?
So she's really, she's.
What?
What? What is that?
You mean about her eye?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a glass one now. She had a beautiful one crafted. I find it to be a little bit disconcerting.
It's a little unsettling.
What is disconcerting?
What is it? It means unsettling.
No,
It
I
means
understand what it is, but what about her eyeball makes her disconcerting?
Oh, so sorry.
Thank you, Molly Thesaurus.
So, well, what's unsettling about it? What's unsettling about it is she doesn't have just one. She's got several. So sometimes when you see Catherine, her eye is red, and sometimes when you see her eye is green. And I don't know how many she's got, but I think she's got a little bit of maybe a self-esteem thing there, and tries to make up for it, because it certainly is weird.
That is weird.
That does
Red
sound
eye.
very weird.
That's weird.
I mean, not the glass eye is weird, because I know lots of people have them. It's like, sometimes people lose an eye and they get one crafted for it. But something about the way Catherine does it is strange, because it's intense. It's really intense.
Does it give off like a vibe? Feel a vibe from it?
A vibe?
Yeah.
Other than just scaring the hell out of people?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
All right.
Not sure what you mean, but in the story, because a lot of people often ask, people say, well, did Catherine do it? But no one was ever able to prove whether or not she did it. Now, Catherine was at the wedding, but she was sitting pretty far back in the row, because Catherine and Valen hadn't really seen each other since they were little kids. But because the noble families were tied, there was sort of an obligation to invite them. So they came and stuck to the back.
Interesting.
It's an interesting history. Very strange how some of these rich families operate.
Where is the Darwich's manor? Are they in North Veritas?
They
proper?
are. They're in North Veritas. They're on the north end.
North end.
Yes. Now, Lady Darwich, Catherine, she does make her way out here once a week. She does check in on the books to make sure that the totals and the different takes are all correct. She oversees it personally. So she is, very well connected to the operations day to day. And I think that's one of the reasons for the resentment on the part of the farmers, because they just, they see her show up in all of her fanciness, because trust me, there's plenty of that. And there's obviously a big divide between the money that she has and what they make. Now, there was a time before we went to this Thane system and the government of North Veritas took all the land back, there was a time when the lands were privately held and we had a much more robust migrant worker population that would pass through these parts, which is the whole reason the Crooked House was built in the first place. It was a stopover point for migrant families that were coming through and helping to take in the fields. But then when the government of North Veritas took that land back and distributed to the Thanes, all that went away. There was no need for that anymore. So now we have a much more sort of a system that's more based on a kind of like a rental system. Makes her very rich.
Tell me this, because I want to paint a picture. When she comes down here, right? Does she come with like a bunch of people, or she come on her own?
Sometimes she comes with her husband. Lord Darwich comes along sometimes for the ride, but sometimes she just comes alone. I mean, she's got quite a presence. I don't think she fears much.
Interesting.
Yeah. I sure would like to know what happened that day, but who knows? So many rumors.
How many Thanes are there?
How many Thanes are there? Well, I don't know exactly how many. I know there's about 10 total, but I couldn't name them all. There's a lot of land here, and Lady Darwich doesn't control it all.
You say all these kind of like stories have merit?
What do you mean?
You know, you heard a story before about the Vassarine.
Oh, the Vassarine. You were listening to Hectes.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, well, he loves his stories. I mean, look, you got to remember stories. And being a folk singer, I love telling stories. But stories are the things we tell ourselves to preserve our history about who we are, right? So if a story is, as you say, has merit or is factual, well, maybe that's preserving the direct history. But if a story like Hectes tells that maybe might be a little more based in legend, well, maybe that's symbolic of something that, you know, like that Vassarine, that whole thing. I don't necessarily believe in the Vassarine, but the Vassarine, you know, in its core is kind of a story about the earth and the planet that we live on. And so we got to treat it like, you know, like it's fragile.
100%.
Anything else I can help you boys with? Because I really should get back to my, anything I should help all of you with?
I'm gonna nudge Lollipop.
What? I think we've asked everything
All right.
we need to ask. She can go back to her.
We'd love to
Singing.
hear you sing again. That'd be wonderful.
Oh, well, I look forward to it. I really appreciate those tips again. Y'all have a nice evening.
Thanks.
Too.
And she goes back up to the stage and picks up her guitar and strikes up a conversation with someone who's at a table over there really quickly, who's commenting on, you know, her songs. And
Next time, make a fucking move, dude.
Oh, the fucking move? Can I kick Tryfon under the table?
yes, you can kick
Do you
Tryfon
even
under
know
the
what
table.
making a move is? Do you make moves in the fair, bro?
I've made moves.
I'm gonna do an inside check on that shit. It's a nat 1.
Yeah. So you fully believe
I'm not.
You fully believe that
Rolling
Bran
anyway.
has made moves.
Oh, my bad. I guess I pinned you wrong, Bran. I don't know.
Bran has made
I guess
moves.
things are different in the Feywild. I guess you get a lot of Feywild action.
Feywild action. I mean,
No?
maybe a little.
All right.
Maybe a little.
Modest.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, if the rest of the Feywild looks like he does, then perhaps things get freaky.
I mean, I assume so.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying. I mean, it's okay. There's no
freaky.
slut shaming here. I mean,
You want me to try to like?
What?
You want me to try to give you like a layup? You know what I mean?
No.
No. All right, I'll leave it alone.
No,
I'll leave it
okay.
alone.
As you guys are talking, one of those farmers kind of leans over to your table and he's like, "Oi, name's Silas. What are you asking about Darwich for?"
It's a good question. You see, we we're curious about how things work around here, and We don't really like that she's stealing your guys' money.
Aye. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your interest?
I'm
You don't look like... I mean, forgive me, but you don't strike me as like a farmhand. You know?
I mean, I could swing a rake pretty well, you know what I mean?
Well, maybe you look like you got a bit of muscle.
Yeah.
All right.
A cow gets injured, I lift it up, you know what I mean? I do work.
What's your connection to Darwich?
I don't really have a connection to the Darwish, honestly.
You look like you got money. You got money?
I look like I have money.
By looking at that thing on your head, it looks like it was really expensive.
No, just a gift.
It was a gift from a friend.
All right. Yeah.
Hey, I'm not the money type guy. I don't know if you noticed.
Look, all I'm trying to do is get a sense of who you are because it got the boss lady around and I don't want to be saying bad shit about her.
I get it.
The
totally.
boss lady is around.
No, if she were. And if we connected to her, I don't want to get caught, you know.
Hey,
He's got a big pint of beer in his hand. You can tell this guy's lit up like a Roman candle. Like he's like really drunk.
And no snitches
We
here.
are not
So,
connected to her.
It seems as the fine craft that you do when you're tending your fields. It's very obvious that so many of your farmhands work very well in connection with the earth.
Roll persuasion check.
That is a 6.
I actually rolled worse than you.
Awesome. You grow your wheat and shuck it very nicely.
He looks at you and he's like, "Hey, we take a bit of pride in that. You know, we got it like nice lined up out there. Not easy to do, you know.
Yes, it shows.
Not many
I'm
people
one
recognize the craftsmanship of a farmer.
And we noticed. We got you.
I like you guys.
We like you.
What's your name?
My name is Thrud.
Thrud. That's interesting. Where are you from? You from Ironhold?
Yes, I am.
Oh.
A little north of Iron.
I could have guessed that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What about you there?
Branmorn.
Branmorn. Oh, interesting. Where are you from, Branmorn?
Not from around here.
I could have guessed that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, far away.
And what about you there,
Tryfon.
Horny.
Tryfon?
Yeah. East Coast.
The East Coast.
Yeah.
You see, if you
Nice. Yeah. That. I just want to point something out to you. You're from the West Coast.
Fuck me, dude. Can we retcon everything I've said? You know what I mean? No.
It's all good. I think it's funny that you think it's the East Coast. I'm going to let you roll with that.
All right.
All right.
Maybe I'm lying on purpose.
Maybe.
Maybe
Just making sure.
Well, I can assure you that, like I said, your prowess in tending the fields, it seems like it is a much more honorable way of making a living than being a parasite who lives off of those who are doing the actual work.
You know, recently, in the last 2 weeks, she's implemented another tax on us in order to rake it in a little bit more for herself.
Of course.
Of course.
It's unbelievable. We had it much better off when we were working for the actual landowners than these fucking people.
These veins.
Yes.
It's got to be tough dealing with that. And then on top of that, you got, like, you know, these looters running around. You know what I mean?
Wait, what looters?
You know, the little, you know, green guys that have been coming around.
I think he needs another beer.
I agree.
Jeez. So what brings you this way, eh? What brings you up here?
Heard good things about this pub.
Sightseeing.
Yeah.
All right. Staying long?
No, probably just for the night.
You guys don't talk much, do you?
Well, we've had a long time looking around at fields and purveying the area and surveying things, so yes, we were a bit tired.
I got you. Well, I'm going to get back to my mates.
Hey, one more thing.
Yeah.
Did you hear about what happened? The explosion.
An explosion?
Yeah. Now, yeah, the one, you know, the one keep down the road.
Oh, you mean up north of the city?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard something happened up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got around for a bit. Conversation's been circulating a bit. You know anything?
No, we heard the big boom. You know what I mean? It was crazy.
Yeah, I heard that some story trickled out that the North Veritas Guard was starting to use that place again, but they, maybe we're demolishing it. I don't know. I don't know. It's a nice place, though. Beautiful building.
Well, I've heard things about that. Yeah, it's a tragedy.
I've been up there. Nice place. All right, well, good chatting with you.
Nice to meet
Yes,
you.
nice to make your acquaintance.
What was your name again?
Silas.
Silas.
All right, so you guys finish up your meals. You've had a couple of conversations. Things are starting to get late. Molly is, kind of cruising through some songs, doing her thing. You see her begin to take a break, and Hectes comes back onto the stage. So clearly these two are, giving each other some time off and then back on. The place is pretty crowded. It's got a, good group of people in it. There's a few people that are dancing slowly in the middle of the floor.
Very nice.
But all in all, you've had a really rough day. You spent a lot of time down in the sewers. You have two friends that are upstairs that are in pretty rough shape. And so, is it time to call it a night? Or do you have anything else you want to tend to?
Has Deegan made his way into the premises?
As a matter of fact, Deegan has made his way into the premises. And as Molly is sort of launching into another ballad, Hectes comes back over to the table. And in tow with him is this absolute, what looks to be kind of a ragged, disheveled disaster of a human being who is barefoot, clothes tattered and torn, hanging about his waist. He's got a beard that has actually got a big bald spot picked in one corner of the chin over here, where it looks like the hair's like been plucked out of it. His hair on his head also is just wild and gnarly all over the place. Some of it is sort of dreadlocked into tangles. His skin is a dark brown, leathery kind of feel to it. Spent a lot of time in the sun. Needs a lot of moisturizer, essentially. His eyes are deep set. The whites of his eyes have sort of yellowed a little bit in a way that's a little unsettling. And Hectes brings him up and he's like, "Hey guys, this here's my friend Deegan. I didn't get your names, actually. What's your name?"
Hey, Tryfon.
Tryfon, Hectes.
Nice to meet you.
And what about you?
Thrud.
Thrud. Cool. Did we talk about this? I forget.
We did.
We
Had
did?
you had said that your friend Deegan might have some type of a salve or maybe a healing tincture or something that would help a friend that's feeling a bit under the water.
Deegan, these are my
Something
friends.
holistic.
They're new.
Maybe natural, holistic, something.
Yeah. Deegan, they have a sick friend or two upstairs, and I told them that you might be able to help them out with something. What do you think you can, maybe talk to them or something? Deegan kind of looks over you and he's like, "What's up? You,
Sup?
A little cold, a little under the weather, heating up a little bit.
yeah, like a fever.
A little fever, yeah. One of them.
How long have they had it?
Today.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple hours
Just
ago.
recently, in the last couple of hours.
Yeah. Where have you guys been? Like you've been in the woods, like you've been out in the sun too long. Are they dehydrated?
No, they've been maybe a little bit dehydrated, but not from the sun.
I might have swallowed some shit.
They might have, like, what kind of shit?
I think one of them had tripped into like a, what did they call that thing? Right?
A sewer?
Yeah, I think they fell in like one of
System?
the sewer grates
Like a
or
sewer
something.
grate? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gutters?
Oh,
Yeah.
boy. So, like actual shit.
Yeah,
Yes.
like literal shit, yeah.
Okay. Let me see what I can do. Where are they now?
They're about upstairs.
They're upstairs.
Yeah, let me take you to him.
Are they sleeping? Well, I gotta get some things first. I got my mule outside, and I've got some packs on there. So let me go see what I can work up.
You need help?
Yeah, you
Okay.
want to come with me?
Yeah, let me help you.
All right, come on. So you guys together leave the pub. Are you two staying behind, just kind of sitting at the table still? So the two of you go outside.
Yeah.
And he comes down off the front steps, and he actually turns around the side where you guys were at the wash basin there. And just past those wash basins, there is a hitching post. And there is this Iron Cross donkey, like hitched to the post with a couple of packs on it and a really small saddle. And you have a vision in your head for a moment of this guy riding this donkey, and it's kind of absurd.
Yeah, it's a little unsettling.
But he kind of goes into his packs, and as he opens it up, it's stuffed with all these little leather pouches, right? So he's going through them, and he's like looking, and it's dark outside, right? So it's really hard for him to see. And a moment later, he kind of reaches over under the saddle, he pulls out a torch, right? And he kind of with a flint and steel, and he lights it up, and he hands it to you. He's like, "Hold my light for me." And so he's kind of like
holding the flashlight for Dad.
Exactly.
You know?
And so he's looking through things, and all of a sudden he does produce one bag, and he takes out a bunch of the leaves that are in that bag, and he kind of like very carefully puts them on top of the saddle. And then he's going through and he's looking at a couple of other things, and he pulls out a small selection of what look like very long, stringy, fibrous something or other, and he puts that with those, and then he pulls out a piece of what looks like cotton cheesecloth, like a cloth, and he lays that down. He puts all this stuff in there. He goes back in his bag. He pulls out a vial. There's some liquid in there. He pours it on there. He tightens it down, and he squeezes it, and you just see this one drop come out in his hand.
What do you got there?
Right. Oh, it's a poultice. I'm going to make a poultice, and if you take this poultice and you put it on the head of the person that's suffering, in time it helps to sort of it penetrates and it soothes. So it's got a bit of a potent kind of feel to it. You'll be able to smell it.
An insight check.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Can you do it? I don't have a.
You're not an insight. You're absolutely convinced that this guy's on the level for some reason. You have immediately gotten a sense of trust in this guy, and it feels pretty good.
All right.
So then you see him go about the whole business again. He makes a second one, and he's got two of them. And then he takes the torch and he kind of drives it into the gravel on the ground and puts it out, shoves it back in the saddle, and the two of you go back inside. He's like, "All right, let's get these two your friends, and we can put them, on their."
I'm gonna show them upstairs. You guys want to come?
Yes, I think we should.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
We lead him upstairs.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring him to Circe because she's sicker, but I'm gonna make sure Remy's okay. That makes sense. So I'm gonna lead him there and kind of like circle back, open the door, make sure she's still in there. She's okay.
Yep, she's there. You can hear her snoring away. Okay. So you go into Circe's room, and as Deegan approaches Circe, he kind of puts his hand on Circe's head, and he's like, "Whoa, this isn't good."
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this poultice thing is, it's good, but I don't know. You might need to find yourself someone a little more powerful than me. And he starts to take it and presses it on the head of Circe, and then he reaches into the back where he's got a pocket in his pants, and he pulls out a long piece of what looks like fabric, and he wraps it around Circe's head and ties it off, so this thing is sort of pressed against the forehead. And you can tell it's got this really aromatic kind of smell, almost like a eucalyptus kind of smell. So that's set, but he just is like, he kind of looks, and he's got like his eyebrows raised, and he's like, you said they got into some shit, but this seems like an infection or something. It's raging. Like they've got a pretty high fever. They're hot.
Whoa.
Anyway, let's go take care of your other friend real quick. Is your other friend as bad as this?
Not nearly as bad.
All right. So you go into the room with Remy. He kind of like checks her out. He goes, "It seems a little. She's also pretty warm, but
you think it's an infection? You think she'll sleep it off?
Hard to say. I mean, she seems like she's a little bit better than this other friend of yours, but I would seek treatment for them first thing in the morning, like for sure. Okay. I want to get back up to the city and see if you can get yourself a proper healing."
Okay.
Presses the poultice against her head, wraps something around it, kind of ties it off to one of her horns on the head, and it's nicely stuck there. And he just kind of says, "You mind maybe helping me out, like with
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna give him 5 silver pieces.
5 silver pieces?"
Yeah.
He takes it. He's like, "Cool, man. Thank you. That's great. I
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
I hope they're okay."
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice. All right, I'll see you. And he kind of goes back down the stairs, and you see him head to the pub. What are you guys doing?
You want to turn in?
How late is it now? It's pretty late.
It's probably going on 10 o'clock by now.
Pretty fucking
You've been down there for a
late,
while. You've been eating, you've been drinking, you've been listening to songs, you've been talking to people.
Yeah. I think we turn in.
Before,
Maybe.
I think it's based
I
on.
think true.
I think I'm a little bit worried about our one friend who's seemingly worse.
She likes to die a lot.
She does go down quite a bit. Does she seem like she is down for the count? Like,
As in unconscious?
yes. Like,
No.
I know that she's sleeping, but is she like down?
No, she's not down. She does seem like this situation will begin to impact her health on a more on a larger level if it's not taken care of soon.
So if I were to cast Healing Word on her before I go to sleep, would that have any beneficial help for her? To maybe stabilize her until we could get her to a proper healing.
You could try it. Why don't you roll the medicine check for me, since you are proficient in that, to better ascertain.
Jesus.
16.
16. Healing Word would definitely... This is not a situation where her hit points have been knocked down, right? But Healing Word could function in a stabilizing kind of way. I don't think it's going to make her well, but it could slow down the repercussions or the path of this thing.
It's like a Dayquil.
It's like a Dayquil, or it's like a... I think it maybe could help to break the fever, do something to kind of just...
I'm worried enough about her that I will cast that to help her out for the evening.
Okay. So you spend a couple of seconds and you cast this over her. There's almost an immediate sense of relief in the room. There's a tension that, has sort of been set by this whole thing. You're not sure what's going on here. So this helps.
Yeah. You want to turn in, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we settle up downstairs?
I was just gonna say before we turn in.
Yeah.
We had a couple rounds of drinks. We had food. We didn't pay for laundry service.
So
the rooms.
And the rooms. Oh, we never paid for the rooms.
Oh no,
Did you pay for the room originally?
I didn't pay for the
No.
room.
No, nobody paid
I
yet.
paid for my
I'll go back down to
food.
Valner.
Okay.
The original 5 silver per room plus 2 silver for a bath
It was 14 silver.
was the 2 silver per person per bath.
No, it was per bath.
Okay,
So the
so
room
7
comes.
per
The
room.
rooms
So
that
7.
come with a bath are
Okay.
7.
All right. So 7,
Do you want me to add it up for you?
and food.
I paid for my food.
Did you pay for
I
it?
took it out of here.
How did you know how much it was?
Wait. No, I didn't. I paid 2 silver to someone.
You
To
paid
Molly.
2 silver. No, that was Bren who paid 2 silver to Molly.
I paid it to Hectes.
You gave a 2 silver tip to
Deegan.
you
I
gave
gave
Well,
5.
you just gave 5 to Deegan.
I gave
Right.
2 to Hectes.
No, you gave it to Laldrew.
That's right.
You gave a
That's
2
right.
silver tip to Laldrew.
Okay. Yeah, could you add it up for me?
Yeah, I'll add it up for you. So you go up to Yolmar at the bar, and he says, well, you got 7 silver pieces per room. That's 14 silver pieces, and you had lamb shanks, and you had a bangers, and you had the Vaseline, and then you each had, you had 2, and you had 3 in terms of ales.
And the laundry service too.
Well, I'll get to that in a second. So that's a total of 7. So that's going to be 17, 19, 20, 27. And then the laundry service is actually going to set you back a gold because I had to have that specially taken care of. I apologize about that, but that's the
gross.
fee that I get charged to have your laundry done. That's not me charging you that.
Does that go to the veins?
No. The Thanes are not in charge of this place. This is my establishment.
Oh, that's very nice to hear. So
Yes.
you're an independent?
Yes, I am. And I managed to hold on to that because I was the one who originally restored and took over this house. So I got a deep caring passion for some of the landmarks in and around North Veritas, and this one has always been one that I've loved since I was a child. And so when I heard that this place was going to be razed, I jumped in and asked if I could maintain it, and they gave me ownership of it, and now it's mine.
That's very respectable.
I appreciate that.
When someone steps in to save a place that has money connections to the land and the people, that's very honorable.
Well, and I feel like the farmers really appreciate my presence here on some level because it gives them something to forget their troubles in.
Thrud slides him 5 gold.
Well, it's 3 gold, 7 silver pieces, and you slide them 5?
5.
Thank you very much, Thrud. I really appreciate that.
I do appreciate the space and the clientele and the people that you have here.
Thank you, Thrud.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Thrud.
Do I owe you anything?
No, I have it.
I'll get you next round.
All right. You guys go back upstairs. The tubs have been drained and cleaned, and you do notice that there are 2 folded washcloths that have been used at some point during the night. It looks like Luldrew has kind of come in and maybe put them over the foreheads of your compatriots to kind of take care of them. So she kept her word.
Awesome.
Came in. The beds are comfortable.
Who's sleeping together?
Is there a chair in the room?
There it is.
I will sleep on the chair.
I'm going to sleep on a chair next to the bed, next to Remy.
Okay, who's in what room?
Well, there are 2 beds in each room.
2
Oh,
rooms.
yes.
2
Well, then I'll
beds.
take
2
a
beds
bed.
in each room.
Each room has a sick person,
Now,
Or
Right.
do we make a sick room?
or do we make a sick room?
I
Make
did
a-
not know that there were 2 beds in each room.
2
so-
beds in each room. So
Make
you
a sick
could
room.
put Circe and Remy together.
I'll stay in there with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's you and me.
That's hot.
That's how it's been from the beginning.
I'll be in
for
a
the
chair
most
between
part.
the beds.
Okay. Okay. So you've got the watch over them. But you're sleeping, right? You're sleeping in the chair? Okay. You all
We're going to sleep.
drift off to sleep. Is there anything you want to do before you go to sleep?
I want to give some scraps to Mule.
Okay. So Mule, a.k.a. Verbena, is still under the covers in the bed. And you have scraps?
Yeah.
Maybe you would have brought something up from
Yeah.
the vegetable soup,
Yeah.
thinking of the... Okay. So you kind of hold some out, and the smell kind of drifts into the room. And all of a sudden, under the covers, you see the little covers bump up just a little bit. Something underneath turns around, slowly comes out and lifts its head and kind of looks out from under the covers at you, and its nose is kind of like doing its
Yeah,
thing.
nice little carrot for my stew.
And it kind of comes over and very gingerly just kind of like takes it and runs back underneath the covers really fast. And you can see it under there. There's like the head's going up and down like it's chewing on it. So
That's funny.
okay, so you've fed the rat. Anything else?
We're on the south side of town.
Correct.
When I was told about my vision, that was on the south side of town.
Do it, dude.
And I remember Remy and Circe talking about marking a path. Because I don't know exactly how far outside of town we are. I'm going to wait for Thrud to start going to sleep.
Okay.
When she starts snoring.
Which doesn't take long.
Yeah. She's beat. She's beat.
Been through it.
I'm going to walk out of the room. And I'm going to try and make my way towards the path. I don't know exactly how far outside of town
That's
it
the
is.
north-south trade road, so you're going to turn...
It's on the road. I was originally told that it was 6 miles outside of town. And then from Remy and Circe, they said they marked the intersection because the person they drugged, they were interested in the path. So I'm assuming they would have told me that.
Yes.
They told the party that they
Yeah,
marked the intersection.
yeah, you heard that information.
So I'll be trying to look out for whatever they marked.
So the big question here is when you come to the north-south service road, you know that if you turn right, you'll be heading towards North Veritas, but you don't know how far down you are.
I don't think I'm 6 miles out of town, so I'd be going further away.
Okay, so you're going to turn left and head further south on the road.
Yeah, I don't know the sense of direction, but away from town.
Okay. So off into the dark you go on the north-south service road.
I want to do it just in case a party member's about to die. Him not monitoring my sleeping pattern. Would there be a role I could have to hear the door open and him try to sneak out?
Let's see. I'm going to roll on a D100. Okay. How long in minutes it took for Thrud to fall asleep. I think that's the first thing.
Okay.
And not terribly long. So it took about a little less than 20 minutes for Thrud to fall asleep. Okay? So in that 20 minutes, I would say we have to see if you fell asleep.
I did feed the rat.
Okay, so you took a little time to feed the rat. I would say that probably took you about a minute.
Okay.
Right, at the most. So why don't you roll a Constitution saving throw to see how... And wait, before you roll it, did you roll it yet?
No.
Okay, before you roll it, if you roll an 11 or better, then you were still awake.
Okay.
When Branmorn left the building. But
Okay.
under an 11, you had fallen asleep by then.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see if a party member. It's going to be an 18.
An 18. So you were still awake.
Mm-hmm.
Now roll a perception check to see if you heard the door open and close. Because
You want me to roll it?
I'm going to roll it for you. No, this one I'm going to let you roll. It's just perception.
I feel like if you're making a perception check, like
Perception's not one of those ones. Yeah, perception's different from some of the
history
other
and
more
stuff like that,
Correct.
medicine, that's
Yes.
different.
17.
A 17.
With a +0 modifier.
You are sort of sitting there, your head is back in the chair, your arms are crossed, you're looking at the ceiling, you're thinking about Molly Gapsy's song, and all of a sudden you just hear the gentle latch click of the room next door.
Mm-hmm.
And you're aware that the door to your compatriot's room just either opened or closed. So you're going to sneak out?
Yes, I'm going to attempt to see if it is see who's sneaking out.
Roll stealth for me first.
Okay, baby.
Me?
This is where
No.
This is where it fails.
Tryfon's
Disadvantage.
Tryfon's going to roll stealth.
Is that what I think it is over there?
That's an 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you, Branmorn, are beginning to leave your room, you hear the door next to you kind of click and open, and you kind of turn around and you see Tryfon looking at you.
What's up, dude?
What's going on?
I'm going to see if Molly's still down in the bar.
I'm gonna check that.
You want to insight
That's
check
a
that?
lie. I know Rich knows that's a lie. So I'm
Roll
gonna insight.
deception or persuasion.
Rich.
What am I rolling?
You're rolling insight.
13.
What'd you roll?
21.
All right. So I know you're going down to the bar.
3 ducks. All right.
That's
so,
fine. Hey. Look. Be cool. All right.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to try.
Just talk normal. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Don't be weird.
I am weird.
I know you're weird, but like, look, just keep it together. Compliment her performance a little bit. You know, you know what I mean? You're good. You got it.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Night.
with that, Branmorn trots down the stairs almost merrily.
I do. I want to watch out the window if possible. On believing that, I'm trying to decide whether that's me. I believe Tryfon possibly would be like double checking that, even though he believes him.
Bran's role was very convincing.
Okay.
So you
Then fuck
firmly believe that he's going to try and go get Molly Gapsy.
I'm hyped for him, man. I'm hyped for him.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to sit there in my little chair and be hyped for my boy.
Okay.
Go get him, Tiger.
So, Bran, out the door you go, up to the north-south trading road. And you turn left, and you begin to head out of...
Bye, Brad. Bye, buddy. Nice knowing you.
I want you to roll a survival check for me.
Jesus.
Now, you're going to be walking several miles in the dark. Okay?
This guy is nuts.
And you've got a couple of things working against you. One, you don't know where you are. Two, you're running solely on your dark vision. Three, you're looking for a marked path that 2 other people marked for you that you don't know where it is.
I do know it goes. I flip back into the notes. I believe the marked path is on the right. Right. Yeah, right, small path.
Okay. So give me a survival check, please.
No. No fucking
That's
way.
a nat one.
And that one. This is not the only survival check you're going to roll. But you are sort of walking, you've been walking for more than an hour at this point. Okay?
I'm thinking about Molly.
What's your passive perception?
13.
13? Okay. Give me a perception roll, please.
Let's use that one again.
He's gone, man.
17.
17? It's quiet. You're walking down this road, and you are a little bit troubled over the fact that you haven't been able to find the trail yet. You feel like it should have been here by now, right? Your dark vision's messing with you, but you persevere. And just as you're kind of like setting out to, concentrate again, you hear a twig snap in the woods, just off to the right.
I love this music.
I don't right now.
Look at his face.
Look at his face. Dude, he's fucking. What?
You hear a twig
Okay.
snap in the
I look
woods.
towards it.
You look towards
Yeah.
it. You don't see anything.
I don't see anything.
No.
I'm gonna keep walking, but kind of keeping an eye.
You take about 3 more steps. You feel something right past your face. You almost feel the wind break as it moves past your face. And
Okay.
because there's an open field to your left,
There's an open field to the left.
whatever it was that flew past your face goes out into the open field and sort of gets lost. And with that, you realize that something's really wrong.
Awesome transition.
No! Clear the snack table.
No!
Oh!
Mother! I'll kill ya!
Clear the snack table.
You just bonded.
All right, so Branmorn, I'm going to have you roll initiative.
$16.
Okay. 1 second, please. All right. You feel that first, what feels like some kind of projectile fly past your face. And with that, two more. Does a 16 hit you?
Yes.
One arrow sticks you right in the thigh. And that is going to do 2 points of piercing damage. It's your turn.
Alright, according to this map that we now see, I see rocks. Arrows are coming from the trees.
Correct. You're in the southern facing direction. So to your right.
Now that more arrows came at me, do I know where they came from?
You could turn and look into the woods, but they're coming from your right.
Okay. About how far are the rocks away?
I'm gonna say about 20 to 25 feet.
Alright. I'm going to turn and look and see if I can see where the arrows are coming from.
Roll a quick perception check for me.
think that's a 15. 15?
15. You actually do spot two darkened shadows just standing behind two of the trees. One of them happened to move just as you looked, and you spotted him there. He looks like he's about 4 foot tall, 4'5" tall, somewhere in there.
I'm gonna, as I turn to look and I see, I'm gonna shoot one Eldritch Blast at that guy.
Okay.
So go with this one. 16 to hit.
16 will do the job.
8 points, force damage.
So as that sort of crackles through the air and lights up the night sky and connects on the other side of that tree, you see something there all of a sudden like throw, and you see a bow actually come flying out of its hand and drops to the ground.
And then I'm going to teleport behind this rock.
Boom.
Nice.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and duck a little bit for cover.
Go ahead and roll a stealth or for hide. Now, in that moment, you saw that archer, not the one you hit, because you hit one,
But the other black
one,
figure.
Yep.
Got
Okay.
one.
So, you rolled
Yeah, my stealth is horrible. It's a 5.
a 5. Okay. So in that moment, you hear a as does a 16 hit you? Mm-hmm. And does an 18 hit you?
Yes.
2 arrows come up and over the top of that rock. The first one is going to do 4 points of piercing damage. The second one is going to do 4 points of piercing damage.
Taking 10.
And they are going to use their hide action as well. It's a bonus action. So they are now hidden from view.
I love that.
Can I tell if the first one... Do I feel like the first one's down?
The first one that you shot? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can actually see a crumpled, smoldering mass in the woods that... it's not exactly smoldering. I mean, you did force damage with Eldritch Blast, so, but it is twitching a bit. It's down.
All right, give me a second.
I wish I was there. I wish you didn't fool me.
Hmm?
I wish you didn't fool me. I knew this was gonna happen.
Alright, so I'm behind like a slightly smaller rock, right? Is this other one bigger?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to hide behind the other rock. now.
Okay. I would roll the hide action with advantage.
Okay. To try and, be behind a bigger rock.
Okay.
And I guess as I'm moving, I'm going to cast Armor of Agathis on myself.
All right.
Splash myself in a cup of water, and ice crystals are now kind of surrounding me. And I will roll stealth. That one's a 21.
21. Okay. So as you sort of hide behind the rock and you sort of crouch down back there with Armor of Agathis sort of now freshly in play, you are waiting and you don't hear anything. It's not like there's an attempted attack. And a few minutes later, you kind of hear footsteps. And you hear one of them like, I know he's here somewhere. He's over here. You can hear them kind of whispering to one another. They're looking for you. As you peer up over the rock, go ahead and roll perception for me.
19.
You just see one of them passing, kind of coming around the rock momentarily.
Eldritch Blast.
Oh!
No, fuck it. I'm gonna cast Witch Bolt instead.
Okay.
Yeah, I pull it back if you let me.
Why wouldn't I let you do that?
I'm just saying. I had already said Eldritch Blast.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
You can change your
I'm
mind.
gonna
You're out
cast-
here alone.
I'm gonna cast Witch Bolt instead.
Nice.
17 to hit.
17 hits.
You go home.
That's only 6 points of lightning damage.
Okay, so you all of a sudden, as you sort of change
Dip
your
out.
mind, and this massive rack of like lightning comes out through your fingertips and up over the rock and connects with this thing. You hear him kind of let out this like, he just lets out this howl underneath this crackling energy. He does writhe a little bit, and the light from Witchbolt sort of illuminates the area, and you see him as plain as day. There's a goblin standing there, and he's got a bow in his hand. As Witchbolt connects and holds, because I think this is a concentration spell, it stays there.
Yeah, it is.
He's standing there, and he's got a locked eye on you, but he does not go down.
Okay.
So now that you're fully out and exposed from the tree, his friend, it comes around with an arrow fully knocked, and he just lets it go like right at you. It's almost he's got a perfect line of sight on you, and that is a nat 1. So that arrow, as he pulls it back,
I was so afraid as he was saying that.
I know, as he pulls it back, he just completely, I think in his utter terror at this spell that's being cast there, and then with that he kind of disappears again back behind the rock. And so he is now missing.
Do you want me to do this?
Could you jump over like on the one side? That'd be great. So I've got 2.
They're gone. They're out of sight, right?
Yeah, they're out of sight. They
Where's
can't be seen.
Branmorn?
Branmorn's behind
Okay.
the larger rock now.
Okay, I thought he was exposed.
Yeah, he did. He actually came out. And let's take one of the goblins with the bows and bring him out. Yep.
Okay.
No, he'd be more between the rocks further back.
Right.
Now go that way more.
Okay.
Like there. Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Okay, so I actually didn't realize this, but I'm essentially Emperor Palpatine with Witchbolt.
Yeah.
You just hit him automatically now.
Correct. He's attached to it.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yep.
But so I will attack that guy again if he's still up.
Right.
So he would take 7 points of lightning damage.
So with that on the second turn, and you just kind of like take those hands and thrust them a second time as this sort of shockwave comes out again, and it just fries him. Like it just tears him apart, and he goes down. So as that one goes down, and the crackling stops, this loud howl that was coming from this one goblin who's being just basically...
Which way do I feel that other one went?
He cut around the big side of the rock.
So, like, over here?
Yeah.
I'm going to follow him.
Okay.
I'm going after him.
Okay, so
whatever 30 feet of movement, I'm going to try and...
Around here to the goblin, or around here?
He said I would have seen him kind of dip into the rock, so I'm thinking in between these two rocks. So I'll come around the front of this one.
You want to go right in
Going
between
towards,
them?
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm going towards him.
Okay, so you're heading towards him.
I know he's probably hiding, but
yeah.
that's the way I saw him go.
So go ahead and roll a perception check for me as you're ending that turn, just to see if you see him.
15.
A 15. You do spot him. He's crossing the road and sort of heading up into the woods.
Oh, so he went
He kind of went around, yeah, he's kind of gone around the larger side of the rock, so
Okay.
further towards the edge of the model.
So I'm probably out of movement at this point.
Yeah, but you can see him going.
Okay.
All right, so he is going to use his movement to head up into the wooded space. So he's going to be on the far side of the model.
Do you want me to put him out?
You can put him out because he was spotted briefly by Bran.
Where do you want him?
So pretend he's crossed the road and then go about 6 inches in off the road. Yeah, that's about good right there. Yep. So he turns, looks over his shoulder, and you see him duck into the shadows, and he disappears.
Okay.
Your turn.
I'm running 30 feet that way. I guess as I'm looking for him.
Okay.
As I'm running, I'll look for him.
Okay.
Put him like here?
A little bit more than that.
That's only a 6. Yeah, that was only a 6 on perception.
Okay, so he's nowhere
I
in
saw
sight.
him dip into the trees. I'm just going to shoot an Eldritch Blast that way.
Okay, so I want you to fire an
So-
attack in that direction with disadvantage.
Yeah, it's only a 9.
Yeah, so it just kind of like racks in,
That's
off,
fine.
bounces off a couple of trees, lights up the area. You don't see anything.
Okay.
So as you're standing there and you complete that task, you hear a thump, and another arrow comes flying out at you. That's going to be a 16 to hit. And that is going to do 6 points of piercing damage. That hits you pretty well. He's going to run up a little bit further into the woods.
Okay.
So he's going to disappear up into the trees a little bit more, and he's going to use his bonus action to hide. And that is okay.
I'm in between those two trees now.
That's perfect. But he wouldn't really see him.
Yeah.
So
Well, the plan I had is kind of going south now. How big are the trunks of the trees?
I mean,
Can I use them for slight coverage?
Yes, you could easily use
Okay.
them for half coverage, or if you stood perfectly still, you could get.
All right.
given
So
your
then
size.
I'm gonna go up to the tree that I'm close to.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and look for him.
Okay.
Try and see if I see him.
Okay.
Because I know he was going more into the woods. Is that 17 or is that an 11? So 14.
14.
Yeah.
You don't see anything, but given the thickness of the woods and how far in he is and how far you're behind this tree, I'll give you 3/4 cover on that.
Yeah. So then I'm not even gonna shoot at him at this point. I'm just gonna try and kind of hide with the tree.
Okay. So as you sort of are looking for him and don't see anything, you again hear that familiar thump as another arrow comes rocketing through the woods. And that is going. Your AC is now +5. So that's going to be a 16.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
Okay, so that arrow kind of goes past the tree, but misses you. He's going to actually take another 30 feet deeper into the woods.
Okay.
So he's now put 60 feet of distance between the two of you. That's cocked. And he disappears from sight again.
I'll look for him. I'll poke my head out.
Okay, perception roll.
I know the direction the arrow came from. Fucking hell. It's only a 9.
You don't see him.
So I'm gonna keep with the tree.
Okay, so you've got that 3/4 cover and you're waiting, but nothing seems to happen. Okay. It's quiet.
You survived.
I had a way out, okay?
Okay.
It's still not over. I mean, he could come back in a
Sorry. I
second.
didn't mean it. I take it back.
Get on in, Joe.
Don't just slowly go out and then slowly come back. Creep.
I mean, I would keep doing the same exact thing. Tree, kind of peeking out, but if there's no arrows coming at me, I'm gonna assume that, he ran off.
You haven't seen anything, and he did kind of use the last 2 moves that he had to sort of go deeper into the woods.
Okay. And no arrows have been returned
Nope,
at me.
not in the last round.
Well, I think what I'll do first, because I'm still over here, and just, see if any arrows come.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to kind of bounce from tree to tree right now. I'm going to go see if I'm going to loot the first one that I dropped to the ground. And if no arrows come at me in that time of getting the other one and searching around that body, I'll go to the one out on the roadway over there.
Okay, so you kneel down at the first goblin's body. There is a short bow that's laying beside him, and there is a quiver with about 4 arrows left in it. Mm-hmm. He has a little bit of leather armor on, and he has a pouch on the belt which has 6 gold pieces in it. And there is a very small gemstone in there. It's hard to tell what color it is, but with your night vision, it looks like it could be red. It's hard to make it out in this light.
I'll pocket it.
Okay.
I don't think I'm gonna take the bow. I don't need that. I'll leave it. And I'll go to the second guy.
Okay.
No arrows, nothing.
No, nothing's
Long
come out
movement?
so far. No. You head over to the second goblin that's down. And you bend down, same thing, same outfit, short bow, quiver, leather armor. There is a pouch on this one, but there's no money in it.
Okay.
But inside the pouch, there is a small ring that looks like it's carved out of bone. It's not metal.
It's interesting. I'll take it.
Okay.
Keep walking down the road.
You're gonna head south.
Yeah.
Glutton for punishment. I love it.
Huh? What was that?
All right. So you continue on down the road. This is good music.
Brand side quest. It's incredible. I love this so
Good
much,
music.
dude.
It's so good.
Wait, is this Bard still or no?
I also love the fact that we've got an auto rotation on our model that just kind of like turns. All right, Bran, you continue down the road, a little shaken by your combat and a little beat up from the combat too, frankly. You got stuck by a few arrows in this one. So you're a little sore.
I did.
Go ahead and roll a survival check for me one more time, just to kind of retest your alertness and your ability to find your way in
That's
this.
the one that I whiffed last time, and 11 this time.
Still a whiff.
It's not a nat 1, though.
Still a whiff.
No, so you're feeling a little bit more confident. You have a heightened sense of awareness after the battle, and so you are sort of really looking, but you're not finding this thing. You've been out now for about good 2 hours. You are asleep, Tryfon.
Can I would like to have done something before I went to sleep.
All right, so
If possible.
Okay, give me a second.
I've been out for 2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours from the house.
Yeah.
Okay. What am I seeing on the path right now? Is it open field and woods?
Open field to your left with the occasional rock stack, something to divide the road.
Can I find another rock stack kind of like this?
Yeah, it's not hard to find that. The features of the terrain basically are this road, the north-south trade road in this area, seems to hug the terrain between the farmers' fields, which have been tilled and cared for, and this woodland mountain. Right? So it's not hard to find areas where the rocks still remain on the left side, dividing the road from the farmland.
All right. I'm going to find another rock stack, and I'm going to take a short rest.
Okay. So you find a set of rocks on the side of the road that seem relatively comfortable.
Yeah.
You're
Seem that I can kind of
you're concealed.
tuck myself in.
Yep, you're concealed. And you take about an hour to take a short rest. You're going to take a hit die?
Yes. I'm actually going to take 2 to make sure that I get what I need. I can organize my dice. 10, 16, I'm up to full.
You're up to full.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could have just taken 1, but I took all of them. Short rest.
What? What's that, man?
Sit next.
What is that, man?
We said we don't fluff rolls, right?
Yeah.
No fucking way, dude. Is it a blue dragon?
Hey, I said I wanted 300 experience points,
Yeah, you
right?
did. Yeah,
Let's
you
fucking
did.
do this.
Okay.
What?
So you're still looking. You took a short rest.
Yeah,
You took the hit die.
All right, so I'm assuming 2 hours outside of town. I would spend at most 30 more minutes on this road further south, looking one more time for a path.
Okay. Give me a perception roll.
All right, just let me set dice. We're gonna use this one. 13.
A 13?
Yeah. What is he doing over here? Use a different die, man.
I don't know how this is
Use a
even
different die.
statistically possible.
2 nat 20s?
3 in a row. 3 nat 20s in a row.
Man.
3 in a row. 3.
Holy shit.
Hey, at least
I'm
none of them
like,
hit me.
I think this die needs to go into
That
the
needs
Hall
to
of Fame.
go.
Yeah.
No, nobody.
That
Anybody
needs to
touches
go
my
to
die,
the
you're
fucking
dead.
Dungeon. Go touch it.
I touched it when I was. You said
good.
no, so you're
Yeah,
welcome.
Good.
All right, so you're
Touch it
walking
with
through
his
the
left
woods.
hand.
You're walking through the woods, and you're just kind of like still focused on this situation, trying to find this thing. And again, not to beat the dead horse here, but you all of a sudden are met with a volley of arrows. There seems to be a common theme to what's going on in this region, and you seem to be finding it beautifully. You're taken by surprise, and I'm gonna roll attack roll. 3 arrows come flying out of the woods, one of which hits you directly, and that's gonna do 5 points of piercing damage to you. Roll initiative for me.
Jesus Christ. And we thought it was going to be a role play session.
God damn it, that's wasted.
Reconfigure the trees.
Yeah,
and rocks.
I want to make the trees a little bit better. We got a different location.
22.
On this episode, I'm going to move back to Todd's place so I can look at the monitor. That's so cool. I love seeing it big.
You like it big?
Yeah, I do. Now, does that
we know.
affect the how the viewer sees it? Is that just for you?
That is exactly how the viewer sees it.
So they're seeing it big right now.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
yeah.
Guess I'm not finding my path.
No. In the dead of night, and you've never seen the thing they left for you? It's crazy.
We're trying here,
What a
okay?
smartass.
We're trying here. I'm just trying to go get some fucking training, okay?
Yeah, you're sleeping in a chair
You
back in the
know, I
room.
want you to know, if Tryfon did this, he would have gotten a nice speech from Todd about how, this is a very serious campaign, and if you die, you're not coming back.
I think there's a difference between, just kind of gently walking around in the woods at night and trying to find your path and, attacking a fucking army with a net.
It was a hug.
It was a hug. I'll accept that. No, that's a stupid looking tree.
That's a stupid little tree.
No such thing.
These
I
are some of the
noticed
old
that-
straw trees.
I noticed the speaker stands.
Looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Are they all planned?
Yeah.
They're all on.
Yep.
This is beautiful. I love this room so much.
We good?
I think so. We just gotta move that container. Take a look at the.
Take a look at my girlfriend.
She's the only one I got.
La-da-da.
All right. So, Rich, will you man my combatants for me, please?
Yes. That's my favorite job.
What'd you roll for initiative?
It was a 22.
We lost that. That's right. 22. Mm-hmm. You're up.
Can I chill over here?
Yeah.
You don't need me over there, right?
Not right now.
I don't think I see any of them, unless they're out in the open.
They're hidden.
They're hidden.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna do the rocks again, right? Are we? I'm at a stack of rocks.
Yeah, that's a stack of rocks.
I'm gonna dip behind that rock there.
Good chicken.
And I guess I'm just gonna try and duck a little bit, little cover.
Make a stealth roll for me for the hide.
12. It's not that great.
All right. So you're behind the rock.
Yep.
3 arrows out of the woods come flying. I'm gonna be rolling with disadvantage. Does a 14 hit you?
Yep.
Okay, so 1 does hit. That's not gonna hit you. There's another nat 20 and a 5. So only one of those arrows is going to hit you. Oh, and that's gonna do 7 points of piercing damage. They are going to use their hide action again. cocked. Okay.
Peek my head up. Do I see any of them?
Roll perception for me.
16.
You do see 2 of them actually in the woods, tucked behind the trees. They both have half cover.
Where?
Yeah, that's probably about fine. They would be within about 30 to 40
Put
feet.
this one up here.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna shoot an Eldritch Blast at him.
Okay.
At one of them.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna hit. 14.
That's gonna miss.
I'm gonna go around the bigger rock.
You can rotate the Lazy Susan if you want to.
Don't go away
Well, here, Rich. Just
from where you want to go behind here?
yeah, I want to go around. Yeah, the bigger rock. It's the end of my turn.
Just so we can see where you are. Yeah, the rotational battle map comes into play. Okay, so roll a hide for me. Plus, you definitely have 3/4
Yeah, I
cover
was
back
gonna
there.
say. Yeah, that's only 9 on that one.
A 9 on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Rich, I'm gonna have you take 2 of the goblins, and I'm gonna have you move
Wait,
15.
the giant rock is only 3/4 cover?
Well, you're hidden, and it would. Well, first of all, it's not 3/4 cover. They can't see you at all. Right?
No, I thought you said 3/4, so I misheard you.
No, I actually did say that, but I think I was talking about in a certain situation. Right now, you're behind a rock.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Rich, I'm going to have you take 2 of them, and I want you to go south on the road. Yes, down the road, just another maybe 2 inches, right about there.
And the
Right.
other one, same place?
Yeah, the other one's going to come in at the same place.
Okay. This one's closer. Maybe he. Where do you want him? Like
Tree down.
further
Windstorm.
down? Want him down this way?
Not that far down because he doesn't have
It's like
that much
insane
movement.
He was back here.
He was
Where do you
further
want
back.
him? Yeah, he was right here.
Then he's only got about 6 inches of movement, so bring
I'll
him
put him
in to
here.
where he. That's about it. Yeah. So can you rotate the map for me just a little bit? Thank you. I'm gonna say that's 3/4 cover on both of those shots for you, and that's going to be an 18. So you have a +5.
That matches it.
That matches it. And oh my god, another nat 20. I'll take a photo. That's 5 nat 20s in the last.
You're an asshole.
That's
Now,
5
what
nat
pact
20s in
have
like the
you-
last 8 or 9 rolls.
You're a sick fuck.
That's absolutely all. And look at me. I'm gonna
see
sit.
it. I see it. Yeah.
Well, I'm
All right.
dead.
So that shot, that nat 20. I can't see my die here.
It doesn't matter.
Are you down?
Hey, you come in.
I killed you.
Yeah.
I thought you had 20 hit points.
You've already hit me.
How many hit points do you have left before this attack?
8.
8. This one attack, this one arrow is going to do 6, 7, 8, 10 points. So that's going to drop you to 0.
I didn't think you were going to get to me in that turn. I thought they were too far away.
They had 30 feet of movement.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Well, I had a way out.
let's see how the natural 20 works now. Ooh, it came out of the box. Okay. You're unconscious. You're face down in the dirt. I'm gonna cut back to Tryfon in the room for a few
go
minutes,
ahead.
if that's okay.
A brief intermission. As Tryfon thinks, Lollipop is getting
homeboy's
laid
getting his
right
fucking-
now. You know what I
Tryfon
mean?
believes that Bran is having a good time.
I'm feeling good for my boy.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is a great night.
He is definitely, you know,
No, I'm face
So
down
with
right now.
that on my mind,
he's doing some piercing damage.
I decided to take out that necklace I found in the poop sewers.
Yes.
I would like to inspect that, spend some time looking at it.
Okay. It really does not appear to have any special magical attributes. It does appear to have once been a really beautiful costume piece, but it's patinaed. It's not looking good.
Now, how about the jar?
The tankard.
The tankard.
Yes. Sweaty's tankard.
Sweaty's tankard. I'd like to inspect that as well.
Yes. So with Sweaty's tankard, you spend a little bit of time with that, and it does reveal itself to be something interesting to you. So it appears to be junk at first. It's nasty, and you did give it a rinse and clean it out.
Yeah.
And after you spend a little bit of time with it, you do find yourself having a kind of bond with it, a kind of attunement with it.
Oh.
And it reveals itself to be...
This guy's got a poo tanker, and I'm here fucking...
Poo
face
tanker.
down in the dirt.
It appears to... Okay, so it reveals itself to be this.
Yes.
Once a day, if you drink ale from this mug, you can spend a hit die without the need for a short rest to regain that many hit points.
So
But
like a
it
little
has
healing
to be-
potion.
It's sort of like having a free hit die, but you have to drink beer from
That's
the
so
tankard.
Tryfon, dude. So Tryfon. Once per day. Hit, die, heal.
With beer.
So you attune to this thing before you fall asleep, thinking about your good friend Bran, who is having a good time with a
I'm having a
half-life.
good
Do
time.
I clean off the necklace? Does it seem, would it look good for someone to wear?
Yeah, it was actually once a nice piece. I think with some gentle cleaning and a nice little restoration project, it could look really quite nice. It's got what appears to be a black onyx in the center that is octagonal. And so the pendant itself is a silver-colored metal, but it's really, really almost blackened at this point. So it would need a high polish. Or would need a significant amount of polish to get it to come back up to where it was.
Okay. Then I'm gonna hold on to it.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go to bed.
And off to sleep you go.
I was going to cast my armor that turn before. And I was like, no, I'll do it next turn.
Branmorn.
DM!
I've rolled 2 saves for you. Time passes. Okay? You're unaware of the events that are happening around you right now. And so, oftentimes, these are the times when the DM describes to the rest of the conscious party what is unfolding around them. But for you, blackness has overtaken your, awareness of various things. So I'm going to speed this process by rolling the dice a little bit. Give me a second, please.
No.
No, Garret. He's rolling the dice.
That's cocked.
He's rolling the dice.
Should I go to the snap open?
Yes.
What's he getting?
Should I go to the special
Oh, man.
Yes.
D20?
Yes, you should.
You said you were going to do it.
This is the D20 that will decide.
No one can see that.
Branmorn's-
Can somebody put in Discord that Garrett's about to die?
What a nice thing. Such a small, insignificant.
Man. I pulled an Addy.
A 17.
Woo!
You can come look at it.
Do I come to consciousness?
You do.
I immediately go into my ring.
Okay. You have 1 hit point. The ring comes out. And you disappear into this ring.
Was I as I came to consciousness, was I still in the same field?
You were laying behind the rocks, right? And as you came to consciousness and the decision to go into the ring happens, you did notice that the two goblins were approaching you to inspect your body. Now, when you go into the ring drops into the ground, right? Okay, so I want you to roll the equivalent of a stealth roll to see where the ring lands in and amongst the debris, and then I will roll a perception check on the part of the goblins to see if they notice.
We're gonna let D&D Beyond do this roll, because I don't trust my dice.
Wow, that's a real confidence decision. That's a real confidence thing right
It
there.
would have come through on your screen if you have it up.
I do have it up.
What'd you get?
Nat 20.
A nat 20?
Holy shit, you did!
God damn.
A 22 stealth. All right, let me see what I'm going to roll here. I'm going to roll on the bigwig.
Yeah, baby.
The ring,
He says.
as you sort of apparate into the ring, as you sort of disappear into the ring, and the ring sort of falls down, it clinks down off the rock and into a small crevice in the ground and almost becomes unseeable. The goblins do not find it.
You lucky fuck, dude.
And they search, and they search, and they grunt. But actually, you wind up coming out of this one okay. So, once you're inside that ring, what happens?
So, I can remain there for 4 hours. I think I'd remain there for 4 hours.
Okay.
The whole time.
Wait, it's not over.
Now, this is DM's discretion.
This is fucking madness.
I'm an elf, and I get a full rest on 4 hours.
Yes.
Can I take a full rest?
While you're inside the ring?
Yeah.
Is that...
It is my... You enter your vessel, which remains in the space you left. You can remain inside the vessel for up to 4 hours. You exit the vessel early as a bonus action, or if you die, or if the vessel is destroyed. It's... In other forms, it's described as like my... almost house, kind of.
Then you would absolutely be able to get a full rest in there.
So then I'm going to take
long
a full rest. Long
Okay.
rest.
All right.
And I'll remain there for 4 hours.
He may survive.
When the 4 hours is up and you come out fully healed, the goblins are gone. They grew frustrated with looking for you, and they left.
Is it still dark?
It would
It'd
just
be-
be on the cusp.
be
of
middle of the
getting
night, probably.
Yeah, we're way past midnight.
Like
Yeah.
a 4
Probably
a.m.?
around 4 a.m.
6 in the morning, God's got my door.
Now, it's getting late, and we're probably going to end our session soon.
Yeah.
But I did want to do one more thing. And I want to come back to our Crooked House pub and room where Tryfon and Thrud are asleep.
We're not in the same room, but yeah.
I know.
Okay.
You're asleep in different rooms.
Yeah.
I understand that. You felt the need to qualify that really quickly. Are you okay?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
We're not in the same room.
Dude, we're not fucking.
We are certainly not fucking.
Oh my god.
Could both of you roll... I will say this. First, Tryfon,
Yeah.
roll a perception check for me.
Roll. 17.
A 17. You are asleep, so this DC was pretty high. So, your sleep goes uninterrupted. You spent some nice time thinking about your friend Bran before you went to sleep. You discovered that you have a magical tankard in your possession that actually helps to heal you. Mm-hmm. You feel pretty good, pretty confident. And you glance over at Remy and then at Circe before you go to sleep. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you feel like things are turning and that they're going to be okay. And off to sleep you go. Thrud, could you roll a perception check for me?
18.
18. You open your eyes momentarily in the room. Something startles you. You open your eyes and you look around. The first thing you notice is that Bran's bed is empty. Now, you're not exactly sure what time it is, but given that you're a mountain dwarf, you have a sort of inherent understanding of darkness and the hour, and you know it's very late. So this strikes you as very odd. At the same time as you're hearing that, you could swear you hear footsteps on the stairs outside in the hallway.
I get out of bed, I go to the door, and slowly and as quietly as possible crack the door open to see if I can see anything out the door.
Roll stealth for me.
17.
You very gently and quietly open the door, look out into the hallway, and from where your room is, you are sort of able to see where the beginning of the open section of the building is that goes down the stairs. And you could swear you see what you think are two figures that are descending the stairs at a distance, as if one is following the other. But the one that's in front is just disappearing as the other one rounds the corner and is trying to catch up. You don't have any perception of knowing either of them. But you do see two figures at 4 a.m. going down the stairs.
I will try to quietly exit the room and move my way down and see if I can get a better look at either of these two figures.
Okay. So I'm assuming you don't sleep with your armor on.
No.
So I'll let you roll stealth without disadvantage.
Oh, good. Oh my god. That's an 8.
An 8?
She just rips this loud ass fart.
She gets up. But you do manage to get out into the hallway. And you work your way over to the edge of the balcony and you look off the balcony down 2 full flights to only see the figure that was in the back just crossing the room, like on tiptoes, kind of like looking curiously. It's Remy. And that's where we're gonna end tonight.
Get the fuck out of here. Are you shitting my dick, dude?
Nope.
This motherfucker. Just wanted to know if it's Remy, it's gotta be fun.
Good session tonight.
Real good session.
That was
Awesome
fun.
session.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That was fun.
Good mix of everything.
Ooh.
It's not a good session unless someone almost dies. You know what I mean?
Well, agreed.
I got the vapors on that one.
We've had somebody go unconscious in almost every single session so far. I love squishy level characters.
It's the best.
Man,
You really wanted that.
whatever. I made it through it, but like, I'm fucking pissed because like, and I'm not trying to argue anything, because I just made the decision, because I didn't take an action that turn, and I had already said, you know, I'm just going to go behind the rock, because I didn't see them. And I was like, you know, oh, my next turn, because I figured they were so far away in the woods, I was like, next turn I'm going behind the even bigger rock going that way. I'll cast my armor. That'll be my turn.
But
because
see-
I wasn't going to like retcon and be like, oh, I already ended my turn. Can I cast my armor now?
Right.
And then I got fucking leveled.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is I think because we had the figures in the trees, you weren't supposed to know where they are, but you thought you knew where they
Well,
are.
yeah.
It's
you know,
confusing when the
yeah.
when the minis are on the map.
I'm just, you know, I'm like, yeah, you know, I've probably got enough time here.
Wrong.
Wrong.
You think they're doing the whole trance bit? Walking to the place in the woods?
Oh, am I going to cross them on the fucking road?
That would be nuts.
Okay. So Bran,
That was fun.
150 experience points.
Nice. Very nice.
For your encounter with the goblins. I will give both of you 50 experience points each for coming to the game in the snow. Braving the garbage and freaking hanging out for crying out loud. This is a great night.
This was an awesome night.
I really
I'm glad we
enjoyed
did
this
this. I can't wait to watch this episode.
I think this is going to be a good episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we got to do some closing comments in this, and I'm trying to remember all the things that I want to say at the end of an episode. So, one, I've not been saying this in every video we do, but please don't forget to like and subscribe this video. Maybe leave some comments. That would be awesome. Follow us on our socials. We love that. And also, tonight's music, we've been using Pocket Bard, and we love the app Pocket Bard. So we just want to give a shout out to them because we get to use their stuff, and we want you to use it too. So anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next week for session 9. Talk to you then. All right, take care.
Adios.
Peace. See you.